Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so Skip, Shannon, let's get to it.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Undisputed live from Los Angeles. I'm Jen Hale here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Happy Friday, happy game day, gentlemen.
Happy Friday, Skip. We twins today, Skip. You know you ain't got no tie. I ain't got no tie.
And you got no chance.
Oh, he can't play.
I'm winning today.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah.
Are we going to be Sharpedamus or Floppadamus?
Let me see what I'm
today?
seeing.
We don't
You
know.
got 10.
Yeah.
I'll let you win one.
Are you? Okay, thank you very much.
He's feeling
I'll
generous.
win another 100.
Oh, you ain't gonna win no more, dude.
Yeah.
Not today.
No?
No, not today.
Let's find out right now.
Lots
Here we
to
go.
get into today. Let's start with tonight's crucial Game 4. The Warriors down 2-1 in the finals, but help is on the way. Klay Thompson expected to play tonight after missing Game 3 with that hammy injury. However, Kevon Durant will miss his 9th straight playoff game. Steve Kerr says no setback for KD, and Kerr does still hope KD can play in this series at some point. Golden State favored tonight, but Toronto now favored to win the series. It's the first time the Warriors have not been favored to win the title since all the way back in 2016. Shannon, do you agree that the Raptors should be favored to win the whole series?
I believe they should be slight favorite. Skip, I don't know if you noticed it, but did you see what that bandage was on Kevon Durant? It sure wasn't hop around his calf. Now, I didn't know the calf run way down close by your Achilles, but that's neither here nor there.
I did not notice that.
But if you get a chance to look
so
back
your
at
suggestion is that...
I'm just saying, it didn't look like a calf injury to me.
Aha.
And I wish they stopped lying because he's been close since Portland. And we're a month later, and Kevon Durant, because wasn't he supposed to go through a simulated practice, but then the trainer said, well, we didn't feel comfortable putting him through.
Okay.
I do believe they should be slight favorite. And I think when Vegas factored in, because Vegas had the Warriors as the favorite, but they were anticipating Kevon Durant was going to come back.
Yep.
Okay, now, I think Vegas even is resigned to the fact KD's not coming back. And now we got a banged up Klay. Now, how much will Klay play and how effective will he be? Skip, I believe had Klay played Wednesday, they would have won that game. Given what the exploits, now maybe Steph doesn't need to do what he did, but I think he's the one guy that could have came along with Steph and possibly gave you high 20s, maybe even 30 to go with Steph Curry's numbers. He didn't get that, and so we know what happened. But I do believe they should be the slight favorite. The Raptors are a very formidable team. They're very, very balanced. I don't anticipate all 5 starters scoring at least 17. But, Skip, this is the first time. This is uncharted territory for the Warriors. The Warriors says, we've been here before. Yeah, you were down 2-1. But the team that had the 2-1 lead, they had the injuries that you have now. Now you're down 2-1, and you have the injuries. It's a different ball game because Cleveland had you 2-1, no Kyrie, no Kevin Love. Now you're down 2-1 with no KD and a possibly gimpy Klay. So the tables have turned. I agree with Vegas that they should be a slight favorite. This still is a dangerous team. If Klay can come back and be somewhat resembles the Klay Thompson that he was on Sunday, we got ourselves a series. We're going back to Toronto 2-2.
So it sounds like my friend Shannon Sharpe across the table has flipped his pick over to the Raptors because he says they should be favored, so now you're picking the Raptors to win the series.
I said they should be slight favorite, like
Okay,
Vegas.
are you slightly picking the Raptors to win this series?
Well, not in this segment, but maybe down the road.
Down the road?
Maybe
I can't
it's-
get it out of you right now?
Maybe in the D block.
You're reserving the right to flop in the D?
Possibly.
Okay.
I mean, some news might come through, just like Kevon Durant wasn't going to practice.
Oh.
So, we might get some breaking news.
I cannot keep up with your bandwagon jumping. And the bandwagon has now rolled for the Raptors because everybody aboard the bandwagon is all a prisoner of the moment of Game 3 the other night. Wow, did you see those Raptors? Did you see Kyle Lowry? Did you see Siakam? Did you see Gasol?
Yeah.
Did you see?
Serge,
Did you see?
Van
Did
Fleet.
you see? Did you see the Raptors? I still got the Warriors in 7. I had them in 7 before this all started. I'm sticking with 7. I told you yesterday they would win tonight with or without Klay or KD. And even with Clay hobbled, whatever he is, they're going to win tonight's game 4. So that means they'll win 4. They will go lose 5 at Toronto. They will come back and win 6 at Golden State, and they will go win 7 because I do not trust number 2 in a game 7 in his quote-unquote house.
Well, I tell you what,
that is soon not to be his house.
You know when you're going to trust him?
That
you know when
house.
you know when you're going to start trusting him? When he's holding that Bill Russell trophy.
Yep.
For the most valuable player in the finals.
Okay, you'd have me there, but that ain't happening. And I've said it's not, and I'm sticking by that. So the point is that obviously with Clay tonight, the bettors are still leaping aboard the bandwagon to the point that even after the news became pretty official that he's going to be in the starting lineup, the spread went from 5.5 yesterday down to 4.5. So people are betting pretty heavily on the Raptors tonight to win this game. Mm-hmm. And if they win this game, is that not commanding?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
I don't know if it's over, but it's commanding.
It's over.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ooh, you might be able to get
Because,
some
I mean,
deal on
hold
that.
on. Is LeBron James going to join the Warriors for these last 3? Because that's the only man that could possibly pull off a 3-1 deficit.
Well, no, that's not true because the only other man, the real man in this series is Kevin Durant.
Well, he ain't coming
that
back.
7-foot monster. So I am going to concur with you on only one point that you made. Yesterday, for the first time, really all series, all season, I said, you know what? Kevin Durant has dribbled his last dribble for the Golden State Warriors. That's it. That's all, folks, right? He should wear that T-shirt tonight, right? He's out because I'm virtually sure he's not going to be a Warrior next year. I don't know that for a fact, but all of my instincts tell me he's out, and he's definitely out for the rest of the series. And I agree with your premise. It has to be more serious than a calf strain. It has to be an Achilles something, tear, maybe not rupture, but something's wrong with his Achilles where he just can't go. And they keep flim-flamming us day after day after day, only because they're playing games with the Raptors. They want the Raptors to fear that, hey, even tonight, he might Willis Reed it. Right. He might just show up, that 7-foot monster might show up, tip-off tonight and walk right out to midcourt and say, let's go, right? Because now you force Nick Nurse to prep for it every time.
Right.
But just in case we're going to do this, we're going to do that to defend him, to defend them, right?
Yeah.
And I'm with you. It's over and it is done because they flim-flammed us the night before after the game because they announced, Steve Kerr announced that he was going to play 3-on-3 the next morning with some the coach, the assistant coaches, and some of the G Leaguers.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And nothing happened. So some of the Kerr quotes.
See, look at that bandage, Skip.
Okay.
Look what that bandage is.
All right.
Now, I don't know if you got calves that's way down there. Does that?
He's got long calves, man.
Yeah, the calves don't go that long.
They don't go that long. So now Kerr is still hanging in, saying that this 3-on-3 game, he says, I think that's something that will happen in the coming days. He says, probably tomorrow, maybe the following day, or the next couple of... Stop it, Steve. We're running out of days, right?
Yeah.
You can't keep planting that seed of doubt in Nick Nurse's mind. I'm sorry, I'm done with that. And he keeps saying there was no setback. Well, there was no setback because they never disclosed the full extent of the injury to start with.
That is correct.
Okay, so I got that. So these are all semantics. Now, back to Klay Thompson. What does this say about Klay Thompson? How valuable is Klay Thompson if, in fact, suddenly you have a chance with Klay, right? Okay, so what do I expect from Klay Thompson tonight? Will he go back to being the primary defender on number 2? No way, Jose. Not tonight, right? Because with the hamstring, and I know you referred to it a hammy, and I'm not condemning you for this, but it just irritates me when people call it hammy. Everybody calls it hammy because it sort of... It deprioritizes it. It delegitimizes just how it's the biggest muscle in the body. I don't like to call it a hammy because it's disrespectful to the hamstring muscle.
Yeah.
Because once it goes, it is vicious what happens. It controls your whole body. So do I think he's going to be able to shuffle side to side and strain and stretch that hamstring to play defense on number 2? I do not. But what does he bring to Steph Curry? He turns him lethal again because Steph needs a co-threat. He just does. We've seen it now in 2 straight games where you can't. Now, if with Klay, you can't prioritize that guy.
Right.
You can't double him. You can't try to get the ball out of his hands because if you do, the other guy will shoot you out of the gym.
Right.
So that's what you do. You need brothers, plural, splash brothers.
Now
It's not brother.
You just have another guy running off screens
Okay.
on opposite sides. So where do you go? You can't, because Skip, all they had to do was just set their defense to take away Steph, and they couldn't do that.
Right.
Even though they didn't have another outside shooter.
Yeah.
How do you take Steph away now with that guy on the floor? But Skip, this is where Klay Thompson adds value. When you take him off the court, it hurts your defense because now you really only have two defenders out there. That's Draymond, that's Iggy. Sean Livingston is not a defender. For how great Steph Curry is, he's not a defender. Boogie Cousins is not a defender.
Well,
so
plus, they just brutalized him in the pick and roll the other night. They shamed him.
yes,
DeMarcus. They just made him look ridiculous.
what? I think 6 of the last 7 games, Skip, they felt falling behind by at least double digits in the first half.
Yep.
That's not offense, that's defense.
Yeah.
So Klay, not only does he bring you something on the offensive end, he also helps you on the defensive end. The Raptors shot 50, 40, 90. That's great offense, but against a team like the Warriors, who they say their DNA is defense,
Yep.
and you let them shoot 50% from the floor and 40% from the three,
Yeah.
Klay could help shut some of that down.
So I'm back to the Jeff Van Gundy quote that I cannot let go of.
Hey, well, you gotta let it go.
During
It's
Game
the truth.
3.
He spoke truth.
He said, this Warriors team we're watching, that's during Game 3, would not have made the playoffs.
Playoffs.
So I keep trying to process that in my head, and I love Jeff Van Gundy. It's no shot at him. It's a big, strong, bold opinion that I can't tell you how deeply I disagree with it because Steph Curry's a 2-time MVP and a unanimous MVP.
Yep.
And Draymond Green is projected to be a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
And he's a former Defensive Player of the Year and a 3-time All-Star.
Yeah.
And DeMarcus Cousins is healthy enough to play. He might not be in game shape or in game RPM shape.
Right.
And maybe he got lost in the shuffle the other night as Toronto ratcheted up a little bit in just energy and urgency. But if he's reasonably healthy, he's a 5-time All-Star. Okay, so you're not telling me those 3 couldn't have been better than the Clippers? I'm sorry, they could have been better than the Clippers.
They could have been, but Jeff Van Gundy is looking at it as he sees it. A 35-year-old hobbled Iggy, a 28, 29-year-old hobbled Boogie Cousins. Yeah, that team.
I don't think he's hobbled, though.
He's hobbled, Skip.
No, he's not.
I mean, you see how he moves and Skip. Look, he was never the defender.
You didn't say that after Game 2.
No, but Skip, the thing is that he gave them some quality. He blocked a few shots, and maybe he had that one game in him. But no, a healthy Boogie Cousins is 28-12. A healthy Boogie, absolutely they're making the playoffs with Steph and Draymond, absolutely. But he's not even close to being
Okay,
healthy.
so how did that team that wouldn't have made the Western Conference playoffs even as the 8th seed, how did that same team we're talking about win the game at Toronto in Game 2? Because Klay went out with 8 minutes left, and then what happened?
The Raptors shot terrible from the floor. And you see the difference. They came back and they blew them out. They only allowed them to get within 7 after the first quarter.
But that group that we saw on the floor had just won an NBA Finals game on the road at Toronto against the team that's now favored to win the championship. How did they do that?
Hold on.
They couldn't have made the playoffs, but they won Game 2.
Hold on, Skip. Let me explain to you. That's one game. There's 82 games in the season. He's saying over the course, you needed 47 of those one game. You needed 47 of them to be the 8th seed. So that's what Jeff Van Gundy, and I concur.
And by the way, to Jeff's point, Steph Curry, the 2-time MVP, once unanimous MVP, down the stretch of that game with no Klay, the last 8 minutes went 0 for 0 from the field and 0-0 from the free throw line and had 1 assist. So how did they do it? Maybe it's because number 2 didn't show up. I don't know. Shonoff didn't show up.
Here's Skip. Look, a lot of times we've seen players leave a game. We saw LeBron leave, and they held on. When LeBron left the game, what was that, the third quarter, Skip Bayless? And on Christmas Day against the Warriors?
Oh, that game.
Oh, yeah, that game. How was the Lakers able to do that? How were they able to do that, Skip?
That was the troubled Kevin Durant Warriors.
Oh, they were troubled?
Soon after the incident between Draymond and KD on the bench versus Clippers at Staples, in which the B word was uttered from Draymond to
You know
KD.
what? You got more excuses.
That was no, it's not an excuse. They were not playing well. They lost 6 games at home by 20+ points.
Okay.
And that was one, right?
Yeah, it was one of them.
No,
Yeah.
that was a wipeout.
Skip, look, over the course of 82 games, you're going to have some ebbs and flows. You're not going to win all the games. Yeah, you like to be like the, what was that? I think the 86 Celtics only lost 1 home game. The likelihood of that we ever seeing something like that again, Skip, not very good.
So I say Shannon Sharpe and the betting public now underestimating hearts of champions, 3-ring pride, firepower.
They got
in
legs
the
of
back.
old men.
Really?
That's what I'm underestimating.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
the bodies.
Huh? Is Jordan Bell an old man? How about Damian Jones? Is he an old man? Because I think we're going to see more and more of them.
Jordan Bell is tremendous on the defensive end. His problem is, hell, he forgets his sets. And they can't only play him for like 1 to 2 minutes a game. He like the
Okay.
medicine, Skip.
Okay.
Small doses, he's good for you.
And by the way, there was a report yesterday that Kevon Looney just might be able to come back here.
I mean, let that sink in for a second. We're talking about the NBA Finals, and now we're talking about Kevon Looney.
So why not?
I mean, he Elijah Wan.
He is their best post defender, their best rim protector, and their best pick setter.
That should tell you everything you need to know. They're in a heap of trouble.
He played really well all year
you
long.
and the Warriors are hoping for Kevon Looney. Skip, say it with me slowly. Skip Bayless and the Warrior faithful are hoping for a return of Kevon Looney. Am I Looney for saying that?
Nope, you're correct for saying that. Because I am hoping for that return, because I got Golden State
Yeah, I
in
know you
7.
do.
And it will help to have him back. And it will help to have Bogut on that bench playing more minutes tonight, because he's still really good. I don't care what you say.
He's a good rim protector.
Yep, he is. And he knows how to play, and he's not afraid of these moments.
Right.
And I don't know what it is. Every time he touches the ball on offense, something good happens. It's like in small doses.
Well, it's
but
normally
good.
he's 7 foot tall, and he's right there like 2 feet from the rim, so
all
that's a
right.
good
But
thing.
does he convert?
Yeah.
He converts.
All I need, all I need is my whole Kawhi to keep getting that treatment, because we're gonna talk about him later. Saying he do shoot around, then he go back there and see somebody else. They get them leg, get that right quad right. Then they work on that left knee, make sure that thing right. Because Skip Bayless, you and I both know when Kawhi normally puts his foot on the gas, he can go, he can explode, and he can explode a couple of times a game, but it's not consistent.
Oh, really?
Normally that 8 to 10 foot one hand shot, that thing usually splashed.
Really?
Nice.
So he's averaging like 35 a game, and he can't.
It's
a miracle.
That just goes to show you. If he was 100% healthy, he might be having one of them old Bron finals, one of them old Jordan finals.
He's got a 100% excuse for me.
No, do that, Skip.
That's all I know. So here's my prediction for tonight.
Okay.
Draymond Green will snap out of it and have Hall of Fame impact on this game. And DeMarcus Cousins will bounce back, and he will have big impact on offense tonight, distributing and scoring. He will come to play. He was not emotionally, psychologically ready to play.
Triple dub for Draymond?
Yeah, I'll go triple dub. I mean, it could be like 12 points, but I'll go triple
one
dub.
of them old 10-10-10 games.
But he's good at that. I'll take that. And I think the Splash Brothers will splash. And I think Iggy will also be the third Splash Brother, because I got him making 3 threes tonight, and they'll be money threes, big threes. And I got Golden State playing desperate, urgent, hearts of champions basketball, and I got them winning 110 to 104 tonight in their house, to ensure that they will have another game in that house.
What's the final? What score you got?
110-104. You thinking about it?
Thinking about it.
Yep.
I'll come
Okay.
to it. You say Iggy gonna make how many threes?
3. What did I tell you the other day? Van Vliet was going to, Kyle Lowry was going to make 4 threes, and he made 5. And you had written him off as just a disaster, like a liability, and he made 5 threes.
Well, Iggy's only made 3 threes in his last 7 games.
Okay.
He's 3 of
I
20.
just said he's going to make 3 tonight.
Well, he do.
Money.
Oh, so now Iggy money.
Yep. Well, he's only a former Finals MVP. I don't know how he did that, because when the stakes are highest, he plays highest.
Oh.
Okay, I got this. I'm daring you. I'm challenging you. I pushed all my chips to the middle of the table, but I always do. I don't waver.
But you got a small stack.
Yeah.
You ain't like you the big stack.
Small stack. I got a 36K stack. My God.
You got a small stack of chips right now.
I'm trying to Teddy KGB.
Yeah, I know you do. You try to. Hey, let me get some Oreos over here.
Okay. Tell me what your tell is. I know your tells.
You know what, Skip? Look. I mean, I want to pick the Warriors too. and I'm probably going to pick the Warriors.
Oh, we haven't decided yet.
Because my thing, I keep going back, and the hamstrings are very, very tricky.
They are.
How healthy? Okay, he's going to start. They say he's going to start. But how long does he play, and how effective is he? That's the.
Okay.
Like
You can ask yourself that question. I'm not asking it. I don't care if he plays or doesn't play.
You
I got
better
the
care.
Warriors. I got the Warriors.
Whoa, time out. Are you saying if Klay Thompson plays, let's just say plays 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
They still gonna win this
I
game?
got the Warriors. I told you yesterday I got them without him.
What?
I said it yesterday. You're not listening. I said it. I said it today to start the show.
You must be
Without him, I got the Warriors.
You must be braiding your
Come
hair.
hell or high water, I got the Warriors.
Your hair.
Come hell or hamstring pull, I got the Warriors.
You braided your hair last night.
Yeah,
You talk about without Klay, they still gonna win this game.
Yeah.
Besides Klay.
Can I do a caveat?
Yeah.
If Klay doesn't plays less than 10 minutes, I can get the Raptors. In fact, he plays 20 minutes or less, because you said even without it, they don't even need him. He cannot even step on the court.
Wait, I'm going to write this down.
Why do you need a caveat?
Cause
Well, just take it.
no.
Have the guts.
No, because if Klay Thompson plays and he's the Klay Thompson that we know, they're winning this game. But if he doesn't play or he's not Klay Thompson, they're not winning.
Okay, but I'm saying I don't even care. I don't need a caveat. I don't need a qualifier.
I need
just
one.
take it straight up. Let's do 4 cases like we did the other night.
No.
We will find out Monday. I think another key besides Steph, though, or Klay in that hamstring is perimeter defense. Because last game 3, the Raptors tied an
40%.
NBA record
that's-
for most threes by a road team in a finals game.
Huh?
So,
Wow, I didn't even know that was
Are they
Why
still
would
a
you
road
say
team?
that?
17.
Oh, Jen trying to get. I think
You
Jen.
know what?
I think Jen trying to entice me to pickle.
She is trying, and you know and I know they will not do that again.
They might do better than that.
Okay,
they
take
might
'em.
break their
Take
record.
'em.
They hit 17
find
last.
out.
They hit
Take 'em.
17.
Have the courage of your convictions.
They might hit 20 this time.
Come on.
all right, gentlemen, we got to talk about the NFL in just a
Oh, I
moment.
can't wait
Because
for this.
Carson Wentz got paid yesterday. Is Dak Prescott next? We're discussing that and much
That's a
more.
lot of
Don't
pressure.
forget,
Dallas.
check us out on the Fox
Oh,
Sports
drive it
channel
to
on
him now.
Sirius
You got a
XM.
big
drive
check.
it to
Well, I'll
him.
be right back.
You got a big check.
We'll get to some very interesting new Kawhi quotes in a minute. But first, Carson Wentz just got paid. The Eagles signed Wentz to a 4-year extension for reportedly about $107 million guaranteed. That averages out to $32 million a year, right around. But Wentz has missed 8 games over the past 2 seasons with injuries. Meanwhile, the Cowboys grappling with their own money issues concerning their quarterback, Dak Prescott. He's entering the final year of his contract and is rumored to be asking for about $30 million per year. Shannon, what does all this mean for the Eagles and the Cowboys?
It means I can't call it walking to him anymore, as I said before the break. $107 million, that's what Jen said. $66 million upon signing. So you can't walk that to the bank. You got to drive that one, Skip. Drive it to him when.
In what?
Oh, he probably got something fly up in Philly. I don't know. He strikes me what, he from North Dakota?
Yeah.
He old hunter. So he strikes me as a pickup F-150, something like that, a Raptor or something like
Well,
that.
he's always hurt, so he might have to call Uber.
You know,
Get an Uber driver.
okay, you got jokes.
Yeah.
I love this because guess what this means, Skip? Now, you say your guy, this is what you tell me. Now, this is what you tell me since September 6, 2016, that Dak Prescott is better than walk it to him. Well, walk it to him just got $107 million guaranteed, 66 as soon as he put his name, walk it to him on the contract. Dak Prescott says, Skip Bayless says I'm better. Jerry and Stephen Jones says I am the future and I'm good. I can be great. Well, hold up. Because it's like the women, I had a lady tell me, Shannon, I told her I love her. She said, Shannon, if you love me, put a ring on it. Dak Prescott telling Stephen Jones, if you love me, put a check in the bank. I love that.
Why didn't you put a ring on it?
That ain't beside the point. I just said that. Stop trying to get in my business. You know we're asking all these
I'm
questions.
trying to put it in the Wentz context because I wouldn't have put a ring on that one, man.
Blushing.
They put a check on it.
Yeah, okay.
They put a check on it.
Yeah.
You keep talking about, Dak, he's Brady-esque. This is what we know.
He is Brady. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. You reminded me. I got to write that down. That's good.
Well,
Thank
Skip,
you.
okay, you know what, Skip? I will give you this. Their rookie season, Dak outplayed him from top to bottom.
Yeah.
QBR, touchdown passes, all that led him to the division title. He had a 79 QBR, because you love QBR. Jenny, I don't know if you noticed this, but Skip loves QBR. It measures 0 to 100, 50 being average, 100 being great. Dak was a 79. I think he finished fourth that year, didn't he, Skip? Had an outside chance. He finished second. Had a chance to finish first, but...
Well, they mailed it in at Philadelphia because they had already clinched the division at 13-3, so they didn't...
And walk it to him, finished 24th. But in 2017, that 79 went to 70. And in 2018, that 70 went to 59. Now, I don't know, because this is what Skip Bayless also tells me. He says, this is not about what you've done. We're projecting. What are you going to do? But I'm looking at this here, 79, 70, 59. That don't look like rising to me. Now, only if you playing golf would these numbers be good. You know, you shoot a 79, 70, then 59. 59 is, woo, that's the holy grail in the Skip Bayless, to break 60 in the golf. I think I knew that. But anyway, walk it to him. If you know that, Skip, if you were to average these three guys' QBR over the course of 3 years, which one you think has the highest QBR? If you were to average their touchdown passes, which one you think has the most touchdown passes?
No, wait a second. Are you saying just average QBR over their first 3 years? Is that what you just said?
If you were to take their QBRs, last year's QBR, walk it to him had a 65. That was 12th. Dak Prescott had a 59, which was 17th.
Okay.
Now,
let's do the 3-year average of the QBRs.
Add them up.
69 for Dak, 64 for bounce it to him.
No.
Bounce it to him wins, because he usually bounces it to him.
Let it go, Skip. Okay. Let it go. Over the last 2 years, and I know you don't like this, but the passer rating on third down, did you know only Patrick Mahomes boy have a higher QBR? Only my Mahomes boy got a higher QBR passer rating on third down than walk it to him. I don't know if you noticed this, but Dak is 14th. 14th, 32 teams. So kind of where I have him at when we talking about quarterbacks somewhere middle of the pack. So with that being said, he walk it to him's contract just put even more pressure on the Cowboys to get something done. See, Skip, it's almost like the Cowboys are like, Dak, we want to, give us a discount. Dak's like, nah, I ain't gonna give y'all that kind of discount. They're almost betting against themselves. Well, if Dak starts the season a little bad, he'll sign his contract. We can get a hometown deal. Dak says no. I've won 2 division titles and a playoff game. I won't walk it to him money or we get no deal.
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's yours.
Is it?
Take it away.
Thank you. I'm about to unleash on everything you just said. My initial reaction, my immediate reaction to the headline, Wentz gets extension, was, congratulations, Cowboys. Thank you. Happy days are here again. The Eagles just terribly overpaid for a quarterback who is not and will never be better than Dak Prescott. And now the Eagles are stuck with bounce it to him Wentz for 6 years. And I am so happy about that because I remind you, Dak Prescott beat him twice last year. Not just once, but he beat him twice.
Beat you twice the year before.
Yeah, because my team was crippled, right?
Well, his team was crippled. And we still made the playoffs.
When they're at full strength as rookies, you know what happened. So here's the point. Carson Wentz in Philadelphia is already becoming what Kirk Cousins in Washington used to be for my Cowboys. And I remind you, my Cowboys he was 1-6 against my Cowboys, was Kirk Cousins as a Redskin. I couldn't wait to play Kirk Cousins because he will throw it to you.
Third Cousins not even comparable to walking to him, and you know that.
And all of this hocus pocus about, what are the Cowboys going to do now with Dak?
What are they going to do?
They're going to pay him, and if they pay him exactly what Bounce It To Him just got, it will be worth every penny of it because he has earned it, he deserves it, and he will be worth it for the next 6 years.
Well, that's not a discount, Skip. Stephen Jones says he wants Dak to take a discount.
Whatever. I don't even care about this money baloney. It doesn't matter. Whatever he gets is just fine with me because he will be worth it.
Okay.
It's irrelevant how much he got, but it's not irrelevant how much your guy got because you are stuck with the guy who hasn't remotely measured up to Dak Prescott. I'm going to remind everybody, they've both been in the league now for 3 years. One out of the 4th round. One, the Eagles traded all the way up from 8 to 2 to get out of North Dakota State.
And he's rewarded them handsomely.
So in those 3 years, I don't know how this happened, but would you believe that Dak Prescott set an all-time record for a quarterback in his first 3 years for completion percentage? All time. Nobody's ever had a higher completion percentage over the first 3 years of his career. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe name them. Not as great as this guy. And over those 3 years, my guy has led the National Football League in game-winning drives. My guy is the alpha. He's also the omega. He is it for the Dallas Cowboys. He is the unquestioned leader of the Cowboys. But just 5 months ago, I had to sit back and read in the Philly Voice an expose about Carson Wentz's lack of leadership. And the headline was, sources inside the Eagles paint Carson Wentz as selfish, uncompromising, and playing favorites. Ugh, it was ugly.
You might have leaked that.
You know what? As I read it, I winced, as in W-I-N-C-E-D, wince.
You didn't wince.
I
You love
winced.
it. You love it. You loved it. You loved every word.
Every paragraph, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay.
So this is the guy you got for the next 6 years.
That's right.
Congratulations, Dallas. Way to go. So my guy really didn't have anything to live up to because we all know, you've reminded me 1,000 times, Tony Romo never won anything in Dallas, right? He never even got to a championship game.
But Jerry said he's box office.
Oh, box office, but he never won anything.
He did.
So there's nothing to live up to. Your guy, on the other hand, he's got to live up to Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles, who's no longer there. So there's not even a safety net of Nick Foles, who took these Eagles on 2 magical playoff runs the last 2 seasons.
On something Walker to him started.
Wow. But Walker Toombs has played 0 playoff snaps. Would you believe that? He's played 0 playoff snaps, and they just gave him the sun and the moon.
Yeah.
Wow. You're betting on what?
They should've gave
what
him a
evidence
star,
do
too.
you have? Really?
Yeah.
So now he's got to live up to a guy who had a shrine built to him in the Eagles locker room. Nick Foles, was it in Long's locker? I think it was,
Chris
right?
Long.
Chris Long's locker. That he built a shrine to Nick Foles because he was their magic man. The magic man, Nick Foles. And the Eagles, because their foolish pride is forcing their hand, wrong decision after, it's like good money after bad, right? No. It's where you just keep saying foolish pride, foolish pride, foolish pride. We traded all the way up from 8 to 2 to get this guy. So we got to hang with him. We got to let Nick Foles go. We got to clear the decks
Let
for
him
him.
go. And
let
they
him
did
go.
that.
Yeah.
And watch Walker to him reward them handsomely for that decision.
Yeah.
All I know is that this decision and your inability to, if you stop being cheap because you didn't cut no corners when you bought that $250 million yacht. So Dak Prescott, you just cost yourself probably another 10, 20, maybe even $30 million on Dak Prescott by being cheap.
Worth every penny.
That's what I've been telling you about Walker to him. He's worth it.
Yeah, he'll be worth it. So now I hate to even bring this up, and I got to knock on wood for Carson Wentz. Thank you very much. This man has been, dare I say, injury prone. I mean, that's trivializing what he's been, because we go all the way back to North Dakota State 4 years ago. He broke his throwing wrist, and then his rookie year, he had fractured ribs, and then his second year as an Eagle, he tore his knee all to hell, man. He ACL, LCL.
And he threw a touchdown on that bum knee with a torn ACL and LCL. He still threw a tub.
And Nick Foles came in and closed that deal at the Rams, and they were off to the races.
We was already negotiating. We already had to leave. You make it seem like he brought him from behind.
Nick Foles beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Can you
believe that?
Eli Manning did it too. We know how you feel about Eli. Can I interest you in that?
No, because we're talking about bounce it to him right now. And then last year, right?
Eli going to the Hall of Fame off Tom Brady's back.
Last year, for the 4th straight year, he had a stress fracture in his back. I don't know, transverse process. I don't know what it was. Just shut him down. Shut him down.
Oh.
So that's 4 injuries. And guess what? My guy Dak hasn't missed a game. I don't know. So you just bet your ranch on this?
Back injury because
Really?
why? Why did he hurt his back, Skip? Overcompensating. We're going to talk about that in the next segment.
Yeah, I'll put those two in the same sentence. Number 2 and Carson Wentz. They'll both let you down when you need it most.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And they both stay perpetually hurt. They're always injured.
Carson Wentz will stay healthy this year.
Yeah.
And he will reward the Eagles.
Okay.
And let them. And we're going to look back, Skip. We're going to look back in 2-3 years. He underpaid. I see why the Eagles stepped up to the plate and gave him that. That's why you do it, Skip Bayless. Get ahead of the curve. I
get to play Carson Wentz now 12 times that I know of, because I I think it'll only be 12 because there's no way they're going to play in the playoffs because
And
the
the
Eagles
Cowboy-
won't be in the playoffs.
And walking to them will have a better record against the Cowboys than the Cowboys have against them.
Nope. It's going to be
Let's
Kirk
put
Cousins.
5 Ks of do on that right
Kirk
now.
Cousins all
Let's go
over
ahead and put
again.
do on that right now.
That's a future bet, man.
Yeah.
That's a 6-year
I
bet.
want to go. That's right.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, walking to him will have more wins against Dak than Dak has against him moving forward.
Okay, 6 years from today, I'm going to knock on your door wherever you are. I hope we're here, but you never know.
No.
Life is weird. you know?
I'm not taking any of your
Okay.
calls.
All right, you got it. You want to do 6 cases on
For every year.
Okay. Do you want to do
Every year.
Okay.
I want a case for every year.
Okay, but are we doing year by year records or just it'll be the cumulative
Your
record
cumulative.
for 6 years?
Because you know what? We might spot y'all 2 games and then
Okay.
come back and go sweepstakes over the next 5 years.
Yeah. I just want wins, in the total wins
Yeah.
as starting quarterback, total wins as the starter over the next 6 years.
Walking to
You
him.
accepting?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I got this.
Walking to him.
How many games will Wentz actually play?
He gonna be like the pass against the Bills.
Well, guys, deservedly or not, that $107 million guaranteed, that's the most guaranteed money for any NFL player.
The most.
So we will see.
So what that gonna do, Skip?
Good. Give him 107.
Normally,
I'm
when
good.
a quarterback signs, they don't sign for less than what the quarterback just
Okay,
signed for.
Good.
That cost you, Skip. You
Yeah.
could have had, if you'd have signed him, you could have had him early. You could have had him.
Of course, my guy's got a dozen national TV ads.
That ain't got
and
nothing
your
to
guy's
do-
got none?
I
don't know
We're
any.
not in the business. What we're gonna do, we're gonna win these Super Bowls, and then they're gonna come beating our door.
Really?
Moving on to another lightning rod topic between you two. Kawhi Leonard, been pretty great in the playoffs, right? Guess it depends on who you ask, but he's been averaging about 29 points per game. According to The Athletic, he's been battling a left knee injury after, Shannon, overcompensating for his injured right quad. Kawhi only played in 60 games in the regular season, and yesterday he explained that time off was critical. Kawhi said, when it got bad, we ended up taking 4 or 5 games off. You know, if we didn't do that, I wouldn't be here right now for sure. I'm already favoring it, and yeah, the way we laid out the schedule was good. I'm happy. I don't think I'd be playing right now if I tried to go through that season. Shannon, are you buying that explanation from Kawhi?
I'm buying it. As a matter of fact, I'm overpaying for it. Yeah, Skip, I'm buying it. You should buy it too. Now you talk about, I haven't heard him say anything. You heard it right from the corn-rolled horse's mouth. That I've been overcompensated and that I not taken the time off. Stop laughing.
I'm trying to picture a corn-road horse. I've seen some corn-road horses, actually.
Well, the corn-rolled
They do.
mane.
They actually
Yes.
braid it up.
Yes, they do.
So that was actually a good analogy.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Had they not taken the steps that they took, there's no way Kawhi would have been here today. That just goes to show you, because he's favoring it. So those 22 games that he taken off, can you imagine? But it just goes to show you, Kawhi wanted to be somewhere where they trusted him. And Toronto, when he got there, here's a relationship that just started. All the thing they really knew about Kawhi is what they saw. But he got there and they trusted him. They believed that when Kawhi says, I'm hurt, I can't go, he couldn't go. And that's all he wanted from your San Antonio Spurs. The most conservative medical staff in all the world.
The most player-friendly medical staff in all the world.
Kawhi would say otherwise.
Most patient medical staff in all the world.
Kawhi Leonard would say otherwise. And they didn't do that. They didn't believe him. Here's a guy that was the Finals MVP. And then after that, he had just started to come into his own. First team All-NBA, Defensive Player of the Year. First team All-NBA, Defensive Player of the Year. The next step that he could possibly take is to become a league MVP. And for some reason, Skip Bayless and the San Antonio Spurs thought Kawhi Leonard were dogging it. Wow. You also heard him in an article that they did, I think it was the Athletics, in the article.
Yep.
He said, I never, ever envisioned being the guy that would take all these shots and be, getting 20 shots up, have the offense revolve around me. That guy quit? No. We'll talk about him a little later, talk about how hard he worked at San Diego
Hard
State.
worker.
Hard worker.
Hardest worker ever.
Diligent.
In the history of work, he's the hardest
You
worker.
know what's going to see. Why you gotta do hyperbole?
Tell me when it's my turn.
One more thing, Skip. The man said it. You could look at his eyes. I've seen the interview. He's dead serious. He's hurting. He said, but you know what? I'm gonna finish this thing off the right way. NBA champ. Ooh, that's what's going to really hurt you.
My turn. You couldn't really look in his eyes in the interview because he kept averting his eyes. He kept glancing down.
I looked at enough.
And any student of body language,
You're not a body language expert.
Yeah, I am.
You're a debate expert.
He couldn't lock eyes with Rachel Nichols and say it heart to heart. He's looking here and he's looking down. He's looking everywhere.
That's his nature, Skip.
This is all his nature. He told you everything in that interview you need to know about him. He is physically and mentally fragile. And I've told you that from the start. I told you that last year when he was sitting out those 73 games in San Antonio from my Spurs. But he is a shrewd operator. He does have a high basketball IQ. And he knows that he constantly needs to plant excuses. And if he can't get his Uncle Dennis to plant for him or reporters who cover him to plant for him, he finally felt bold enough, because he's actually been doing some interviews for the first time in his life, that he said, I'll sit with Rachel Nichols and I'm going to plant the biggest excuse I can plant because it's going to come from the corn-rode horse's mouth. And I'm going to say on national TV via ESPN, I'm hurt. I'm playing hurt.
He is.
Physically, mental, fragile. And I've tried to explain this to you. He was so blessed to have been drafted by my San Antonio Spurs. And remember, he went 15th in the first round, and a lot of people didn't even have him going in the first round.
Okay.
It was a bolt out of the blue. R.C. Buford strikes again? Where did this come from? And he traded for the pick from Larry Bird, right? And he got back from Larry Bird, Davis Bertans, who led the league in three-point shooting. He did. He led it most of the year until the very end. So that was
George
pretty
Hill.
good.
That was the centerpiece.
George Hill. Okay, so George Hill went. We know his fate because he's going to wind up a year ago, game one at Oracle. And LeBron said, he is so great.
I want to talk about it.
He is so great. I'm not going to take this shot. I want George to make those free throws. Way to go, LeBron.
Yeah, you're 80% free throw shooter.
Okay, so this guy, number 2, got to play in the shadow. This is the biggest shadow ever cast in this league of Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, rings galore everywhere. 5 rings for Tim Duncan. And you got to play in that shadow for your first 5 years. And then you got to play in another shadow because they go out on the free agent market and they land the prize that year, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
And the next year they said, LaMarcus, it's your team. Here you go. And he spit that bit.
Yeah.
That horse. He wasn't a horse. He just spit the bit.
Exactly.
Okay. And so now we get into just a year ago, which was to be number 2's 7th season. And Pop says, it's your team. It's your town. It's your time here. And Chris Broussard, among other experts, is saying, I got that guy for MVP. And he spit that bit because he crumbled under the pressure to live it. That's the first time in his life where, oh my God, I'm in the spotlight.
First of all, Skip, he did not need Greg Popovich to tell him it was his team.
Oh.
The All-NBA and the Defensive Player of the Year told everybody that was his team. And we know, hold on, why would you why would you say LaMarcus, this is your team, when he left Portland because he couldn't handle not being the guy?
Did not everybody on the market try for LaMarcus
Yes.
Aldridge? Did not every good team, big team, contending team?
Sometimes you don't know until you buy it.
Okay, all right. I agree with you on that point, but I don't agree with you on this point because it was 73 long games of him complaining about a thigh bruise.
He was hurt.
He was not hurt. And the medical staff, and I told you I spoke to one of the doctors, they just said, we can't find anything. So finally, on January 15th, they just publicly declare him ready for all basketball activity.
Don't do that, Skip.
You got to.
No, you don't.
At some point, he's making $20 million.
So?
You have to say, play. You got to play. We can't find anything wrong. Play.
I
got this thing.
Can you imagine if you had Kawhi? That'd have been $20 million well spent if you had him in your organization right now.
He wanted out.
No, he
Uncle
didn't.
Dennis wanted him out.
After
They
y'all did
want
that.
him in Los Angeles, maybe in New York or Brooklyn.
Skip, this
maybe.
is what happens. It eroded. Kawhi Leonard believes deep down inside the organization, be it Greg Popovich or R.C. Buford, someone sent Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili to have a players-only meeting and have him in the center of the ring. He believes that. Once that happened, it was never going to be the same. I remember.
But it was over by then.
No,
He hadn't played all year.
Okay, no.
Okay, now the playoffs are upon them.
So they got to do
And they think they're really good. And they just say, hey, Are you with us or not?
No, I'm trying. I'm
Probably
rehabbing.
didn't even
I'm,
answer.
I'm rehabbing.
Oh.
But if you notice,
Rehabbing what?
But look. Here's the thing. Here's the difference. The only thing that was going through his mind is that the year previous, Isaiah Thomas had played through an injury, and it cost him. Now, whether he was going to get a super max deal, a high max, let's just say for conservatively, Isaiah Thomas, the small Isaiah, not Zeke, the great Detroit Piston, was going to get $80 million.
Mm-hmm.
He's never going to get that money. Look at what Kawhi's doing right now. He's willing to play through injuries because the team trusted him. Your team wouldn't do it, and he wouldn't play for him. That's the difference.
He took off 22 games this year.
Exactly.
And guess what? It was because of the same phantom injury that cost 73 games last year and cost my Spurs a run at the championship. And it was the same weird phantom, what is it exactly? But because Toronto is down on its knees, will you please stay with us? Will you commit long-term to us? Whatever you need, whatever load management, you got it. So now he's crediting his load management with even getting him to the postseason. But now it is switched because he's saying that the phantom injury, the bruised thigh, has now created compensation. So he's got left knee
tendonitis.
Whatever it is.
Tendonitis. You know what it is.
So every player on that floor has something wrong with them right now because we are deep into a long, long basketball season.
It's varying
Andre
degrees.
Iguodala's got 5 things wrong with him.
Andre Iguodala's 73.
Does he need to plant excuses publicly? No, he does not.
Iggy is old. Sean Livingston's old.
So
Kawhi Leonard's not even 20. Is he 28 yet, Skip?
I don't know what he is. He's dead to me, so I don't even keep talking about it. But the point is, now he's saying publicly, I'm favoring it.
He is.
And again, in game 3 the other night, I saw no favoring.
I did.
I see Toronto favored right now to win it all, and yet he's still, quote unquote, favoring.
Yes.
And that Jordan Bell play, you brought it up yesterday. Maybe we should look at it again. Do we have that
hand
play?
on him.
Do we have that play? Oh, here it is.
Look at it.
Oh, look, he's favoring it and won. It's a favoring
Look at him.
and one.
Look at him. Look at him limping.
Explosion.
Skip, come on. Hold on.
Explosion.
Oh, no, watch what he does. Run that back. Watch him have to check his feet. Watch what he does.
Oh,
He has to check his feet. He did a double check. I know that, Skip. You watching it. Come on now.
Explosion.
Watch what he does. Look at that.
Explosion, 100%
No.
healthy.
Watch what he does, Skip.
Favoring?
People at home.
How did he get around Jordan Bell? Jordan Bell's got quick feet.
No, he don't.
Jordan Bell's like a little big man.
You remember he missed 2 rebounds in the Final Four. You remember that, Skip?
Yeah.
Oregon against Carolina.
I saw it.
I thought he
I
had
watched
quick
it.
feet.
He's got really quick feet.
Well, he should have grabbed both of those
Okay.
rebounds then.
How did
Watch what he does. Watch him check
he
his
just
feet.
explode around him?
Come on, Skip. I don't.
And one.
I
And
I ain't a doctor.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm
I
not
slept on
buying
Holiday
any
Inn
of this.
Express last night.
Yeah, right. All I'm buying is that he's planted the biggest excuse
No, he didn't.
imaginable.
Skip, that man
And it's
is
good.
hurt.
It's great. I'm in awe. He's pulling it off. He can have it both ways now. If they fail, if he comes up small like he did in game 2, I don't know how he got a pass for the fourth quarter of game 2. I have no idea, but he got a pass because he's hurt. And so now if they blow this and they're favored, I'm favoring.
Let me ask you a question. If we were to poll the NBA players, how many of them you think would say Kawhi's hurt?
I have no idea. Are we going to poll the Spurs?
Yeah, you can poll them.
Oh, well that's going to eat into that poll.
Not the front office.
Oh, no, I mean the players.
Guaranteed. 100%.
Are we going to poll Ginobili? He's not.
He don't play.
Okay, well he knows what's going on here, I think.
Current NBA player.
Can we poll Duncan, please?
Man, Duncan got cornrow dreads now. and some big grandpa jeans in the Virgin Islands.
I think it looks cool, man.
Duncan, no, we're not asking Duncan anything. And Duncan, Skip, you make it seem like Duncan was just having these press conferences and just carried on. You make it seem like Duncan had that kind of personality.
Did Tim Duncan ever say, I'm favoring my left knee? No. And he played hurt. He had 2 shot knees the last 3 years.
Yeah.
They're both shot.
Yeah.
He finally just said, I just can't play on my knees anymore. Okay. And this guy, I'm favoring it. If they hadn't load managed me, I wouldn't even be here.
He wouldn't.
Now. Oh, please.
Kawhi, 27 years old.
27.
27. You're making him old.
On June 29th.
You know what?
2 days after your birthday.
You know what? To your point, he seems way older than that.
I knew I liked old Kawhi for some reason. He old cancer. We stick together.
Oh, you're the same.
Next question on the show.
Interesting.
Did the punishment fit the crime for the billionaire Warriors co-owner who shoved Kyle Lowry? We're going to chew on that one coming up next.
no mercy.
The NBA banned Warriors investor Mark Stevens for 1 season, plus fined him $500,000 for shoving Kyle Lowry Wednesday night. Stevens was apologetic, saying, "What I did was wrong, and there's no excuse for it. Mr. Lowry deserves better, and I have reached out today in an attempt to apologize directly to him." Lowry said Stevens should no longer be part of the league. Yesterday, Commissioner Adam Silver asked why Stevens did not get a lifetime ban. Take a listen to his explanation.
It's not a science in terms of making these decisions. I think ultimately we felt that given how contrite Mr. Stevens was, the fact that he was extraordinarily apologetic, the fact that he had no blemishes on his prior involvement with the NBA or the Warriors, that a one-year ban seemed appropriate together with a fine.
Shannon, what's your take? Was this penalty enough?
No. But I will commend Commissioner Silver, who I believe is the best commissioner going right now, Skip, that they made a decision very quick, although I don't agree with it. Because had this been the NFL, they'd still be investigating and coming up with punishment, and we'd be somewhere in 2020 before we got a decision.
That's correct.
Skip, let me ask you this. If this was a regular fan and he was sitting in one of those seats and he shoved a player, would he be banned for 1 year from the arena, or would he receive a lifetime ban?
We assumed yesterday lifetime because we thought he was just some fan.
Skip, I don't like that because he's forfeited his right to sit courtside and to appear at a Warriors game. Here's the thing. Fine of $500,000. Skip, that's 0.2% of his net worth. Let me put this in context for people at home. If you have a $100,000 net worth, which is the 50th percentile, that's a $22 fine. They fined him $22.
You did some homework.
Yeah, Skip, because I'm upset with this.
That's second level.
When Ron Artest went into the stands, it cost him $5 million. It cost Steven Jackson $1.7.
That's true.
It cost Jermaine O'Neal $4 million. Skip, I don't even believe he should have to divest his shares in the team or however much he owns. But you can't come back to a Warriors game even when they went to the Chase Center. So if you want to own a $50 million home that you can never go inside, you can just drive by it, what do you think he's going to do, Skip? He'll eventually sell. Because you're like, hold on, I got a home that I can't even go inside of. You got part owner of a team that you can't even go watch and play. That should be his punishment. Before I turn it over to you, Skip, let's just say for the sake of argument, because we know another guy that sit courtside and he has some antics that you and I have been talking about over the last week. Let's say for the sake of argument, Drake, an opposing player, he shoves him. What would be Drake's punishment for shoving an opposing player?
There would probably be backstory and context. They'd probably be close friends, and it would be like a playful shove because it seems like he's friends with all the stars.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. It's a different. It feels different. There's no relationship between this guy and Kyle Lowry.
But my thing, Skip, sometimes if you try, like, if he had dove onto him, even though you assumed the assumption of the risk, sit courtside, basketball might hit you in the head, players might dive into your lap, you assuming that risk. And he was like, okay, trying to get him, okay, I get it. But to go out of his way to shove the man, no. I'm not saying he has to divest his shares. I'm just saying you can no longer you've afforded your right to be able to watch the Warriors play in person.
So, I must admit, after I slept on this, I'm on your side. After I read late last night what Kyle Lowry said that he said to him repeatedly, which is go F yourself. You did go F yourself? What?
He didn't even touch you.
What? You weren't even in harm's way.
Thank you.
And it's bad enough that you crossed the line with a big shove, but then you're yelling at him repeatedly, go F yourself. What does that mean? You've lost it, man. You've gone over the edge, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And that's why Kyle Lowry had this look on his face, like looking at the refs like, what? Are you believing this guy? Because he didn't know he was a minority owner.
No.
And then once Kyle found out, he owns a portion of this team, he's like, he shouldn't be part of our league anymore.
That just goes to show you, Skip, money doesn't change people's behavior. It makes you more of what you already are. If you think because he has $2 billion, now maybe he does, and that's the privilege. And maybe that's why he didn't get, because you and I both know, Skip, if a fan would have, just a normal fan that works hard, not to say that he doesn't, but raking and scraping to go sit at a game and watch it, and he shoves a player, he's not ever coming back to that arena again. They banned the fan in Utah that said what he said to Russell Westbrook.
I got it.
But this guy gets a one-year ban? This is hypocrisy at its height.
And to your point, $500,000 is like pocket change.
It's a $22 fine to somebody that's making $100,000.
Well, it is. So just so people get the background of this guy, rags to riches, classic story, because he's born right here in L.A., just down the street from us across the 10 freeway in Culver City. He goes to Culver City High School, and he goes to USC, and he rose up to such a place in the financial world where he made billions that in 2015 he was asked to speak at a graduation ceremony for USC athletes. So his status at USC was elevated, but he had donated millions of dollars to USC.
Yes.
So this guy who then he made so much money, then he was able to buy that little chunk of, and it's not a huge chunk, but it's a significant chunk.
And they need to stop saying investor.
Okay. Yeah.
He's an owner.
No, he's an owner. He owns a portion.
So Jerry Jones is an investor into the Cowboys, huh?
So I was trying to think before I heard the "go F yourself" quotes. Is it possible when they do move to what's it called, the Chase
Center
across the bridge? Obviously, it's going to be suite filled. You know, it's going to be like an NFL stadium because the Oracle does not have those kind of suites.
Right.
Well, could you ban him from courtside just to have to be up in the suites? And I'm with you. No, you can't.
He's because the thing is, Skip, if I see him, if I'm a player and I see him, he did that and he still gets the luxury. That's the whole purpose of banning someone from something, is that you've lost your right to be able to come and be in the presence of this situation. No, I'm not saying. Commissioners, now, I believe that quietly behind the scenes, he'll probably divest and just move on to something else. But this is a terrible look.
It's a terrible look. And you know what? I don't care how contrite he was because he's going to be contrite. What else is he going to do?
Thank you.
I stand by what I did.
It's like, Skip, it's like me if I do something. I got a choice. I can get life in prison or I can show contrition and get a year in prison. I'm glad I do it. I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
What you think I'm going to say?
All right. And he had no blemishes on his record. Well, maybe he just hadn't been put in position to have a blemish on his record, right?
You know what? I never got this about people. Well, you know what? He's never been to jail. Well, you shouldn't go to jail. Well, he takes care of his kids. That's what the hell you should do.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have any blemishes. He gets no credit for that.
Yep. So I was trying to figure out how legally you could force him to sell because it may be difficult unless there's a conduct unbecoming clause.
If that's not conduct unbecoming
I agree
or detrimental
with that.
to the NBA.
But I do love your conclusion is just tell him he can't come to the games. And then after a while, he's like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Because that was the whole, because Skip, the thing, and that just goes to show you. I mean, people just thought he was, they like, hold on. How does he have one of those placards around his neck? Now, he's just not a cat. He's just not. They didn't know to the extent of how far, but he had to be someone. He had to be someone, because those seats, I just saw that somebody paid like $96,000 for 2 courtside seats. $96,000 for 2 court. If you got that kind of money to pay for that, you somebody. Because normally in the finals, we see guys, that's Jay-Z, that's Beyonce, that's Floyd Mayweather. That's the high-end boys that sit in those seats and gals. But no, this is unacceptable. Skip, this is almost like Woody Hayes. You remember what Woody Hayes did in the Gator Bowl?
Clemson.
And what happened? They said, Woody, we appreciate everything that you've done. But you got to go.
Yeah, for those who don't remember, he shoved an opposing player on his
He called him, he intercepted the ball in the Gator Bowl. And tried to club him.
It'll be interesting to see if LeBron comes out and has anything further to say about
you see LeBron?
NBA players.
Skip, that's the guy.
Yep, LeBron.
He
pops up and says, remember me? I'm still here.
No. He said, I hadn't said it. I've been out of sight, out of mind. I didn't say anything about the finals.
And he said he waited, he slept on it. Yep.
He said he slept on it. But boy, Skip, I keep telling you, you remember old Miley Cyrus' old wrecking ball? When he comes in, it's like a wrecking ball.
He is wrecking ball?
He comes in like a wrecking ball, Skip.
Huh.
I came in like a wreck.
We're going to have to leave this one here, guys.
Yeah, he know Miley.
Lots more to talk about.
He might know
Game
if Hannah
4
Montana.
coming up tonight, including Klay Thompson's impact. Will he be able to lead the Warriors to a win tonight? We're going to get these guys to make some predictions coming up next.
No mercy.
Back to the finals. The Warriors are down 2-1 against the Raptors, but they are expected to get Klay Thompson back tonight. KD, though, still out with that calf injury. Despite that, the Warriors are favored by 4.5 points in Game 4 at Oracle. We're joined once again by one of our favorites, NBA analyst Chris Broussard.
Now,
Chris,
speak for yourself.
one of my favorites.
That's my
anyway.
homegirl, my Louisiana homegirl.
Exactly. You got the Louisiana connection going. Who do you think wins tonight?
I got Golden State. I think this is essentially a must-win.
Yeah.
Because, look, they know as well as anybody from both sides that a 3-1 lead isn't always safe. However, to think, even if I'm skeptical about Kevin Durant coming back, period.
That's what we
Right?
concluded
I mean,
to open our show.
It's
we're
getting ridiculous.
done with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But even if he were to come back, to expect him to be very close to KD for 3 games in 6 days after a month off, still probably with some aches and pains in the calf, that's just unrealistic. So they need to take care of business tonight. And I do think they will. Everybody right now, at least I feel like, is really singing the Raptors' praises and kind of feeling like they're going to win this thing. And look, they've been great. They've played well. They're clearly in control right now. But if you look at Game 3, they shot 50, 40, 90, only the 3rd time in NBA Finals history. They had all starters get 17 or more points. Every player for them shot at least 50%. And they still, it was a 7-point game with 10 and a half minutes left. And several times in the 3rd quarter. So, and you never, because of Golden State's 3-point shooting ability, it never totally felt until the very end like, well, it's over now.
Right.
You know,
And
like
by the way, you know who scored the 2 baskets, who stemmed the bleeding at that point, who put it back to 9 and 11? Ibaka. So what I'm saying is they even got Ibaka, and he had 6 blocks, so he doesn't even count in your starter.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
So, but that's a great point. So they still were within striking distance.
they were.
With all those great statistics that Toronto, there's no way they're duplicating that, Toronto. Like, they may play well, but 50, 40, 90 and all the other stuff, that's not happening. So I think Golden State will win. I need 20 plus from Klay. Yeah. I need 20 plus. Like, I think Steph's going to have a big game, in part because he has to. Like Draymond scored 17. Well, somebody has to score at some point other than one guy. So I think Steph's going to have a big game, and I need 20 plus from Klay. I believe Draymond will play big. I think he's the X factor. If Draymond doesn't play well, I think it's going to be tough for them to win. And I don't see him having 2 subpar games in a situation like this. I think what happened in Game 3, as good as he is not a number 2 guy.
No.
You know, right. Offensively, he's not a number 2 guy. And he was in that position in Game 3. So I think now with Klay back, he'll be able to be the utility guy that he is. I expect some playmaking from him. I expect some good defense on Siakam to keep him in control. So I do think that the Warriors will be able to pull this out.
You realize what you just did? You just killed my chances of winning 4 more cases of Diet Dew, because I was watching his eyes, and as you spoke, he's like, you're right.
Because every time I pick with Chris Broussard, we both go down the
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to take the Warriors, Skip, because I believe Klay
Wait
will.
a second. You were leaning Raptors.
I was.
You made a strong case for the Raptors until you heard
So it
his
was
case.
over, right? You thought it was over.
Because, man, I just wish I knew. I wish I could just have my crystal ball. Sharpe Thomas would come before me. Little genie sit on my shoulder, says, Klay go play 30 minutes tonight, and he's going to give what Chris Broussard said, 25 points. But I do believe he'll play long enough. I believe he'll play well enough. The question is, I'm not worried about his offensive on the offensive end. I'm worried about the defense, because in 7 games, they've been behind by double digits in the first half, going back to the Portland series. That's not a good sign for someone to shoot 50, 40, 90 against you. You're not playing very good defense, Skip, if someone can do that. And that's where he also helps. Yeah, they need scoring. Am I concerned about Steph's workload? I'm really not concerned, Skip, because he doesn't carry a workload like LeBron. His game is different. LeBron's game is physicality. LeBron game is Earl Campbell, Marshawn Lynch.
It is.
Run you over, collision, high contact.
I agree.
Steph Curry is more Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders. I'm going to make you miss. I'm going to get someone to set screens for me.
Yep.
I'm not really going in there where I got to take a whole lot of contact. So I do believe he'll be fine. But for me, I don't want the ball in Draymond Green's hand. I want the ball in Steph Curry's hand. Because Steph Curry is, because Draymond is the facilitator. Draymond is the guy that's going to pass.
You mean if you're Toronto?
If I'm Toronto, yeah. I want the ball in I don't want the ball in Draymond's hand, because if Steph has it, he's probably going to shoot it, and he's not going to get a whole lot, because his impact is different. His impact is different than, guys that can, like a LeBron James or Russ, that can get you 15, 16 assists. That's not what Steph does. He got, 8 assists the other night. I want him to shoot. I don't want him to get nobody else involved, because, see, Draymond has the ball. He going to mess around and get Steph and Clay involved.
And some big men, too.
Yeah, so I don't want Draymond to have the ball, but I'm going to take him. But that's how much time we got. We got an hour and 12 minutes. That's subject to change.
How do you know that? Are you like timing the show? What do you?
I got to time how much you talk, because the last couple of days I've been short on the talk time.
You've been short on the
Short on the talk time. Yep.
Because the only way you ever even hold your own is by ball control. You just ball control me to death. I just don't have time to talk because we got to go to break.
I've been short on the talk
Jen
time.
just keeps interrupting me, and I'm like, well, I haven't even spoken yet.
No. I've been short on the talk time. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm going to reiterate for you that I picked Toronto to win game 1, and I picked Golden State to win 2, and I picked Toronto to win 3, and I told you 2 days ago I'm picking Golden State tonight to win 4, and then Toronto 5, and then Golden State 6, and Golden State 7 at Toronto. Golden State in 7. I have not wavered. I have not flipped or flopped, as somebody at this table constantly does.
Chris, sorry.
No, I picked Golden State. I'm sticking with my Golden State.
Yep.
6? I mean, the games don't matter. It's Golden State.
You win.
Right, as long as they win.
The betting public and maybe even the odds makers are now prisoners of the Game 3 moment, because it was a sensational performance by the visiting team. They can't play. I just don't think they could play better than that. No. I know it's theoretically capable. They could play a little better. They could make every shot, right?
Well, you know what I did?
They could go.
I said that about your Spurs. I said they're not going to keep shooting threes like this, and guess what they did? For 5 games, they shot threes just like they did in game 1.
That was when they blew LeBron's team off the floor by a record finals
and I heard everybody say, they can't keep shooting like this. Guess what? They kept shooting like that.
Maybe LeBron should have played a little defense.
You know what?
Right?
On everybody?
Yeah, on everybody. He's a great perimeter defender. That's what they used to tell me.
He was then.
So, again, even after the Clay news broke yesterday, the betting public kept betting the spread down. It went from 5.5 to 4.5. So Golden State's a 4.5-point favorite. But I'm going to remind everybody, they're still favored by 4.5 points tonight. And that is now pretty much a done deal without Kevin Durant. Even though the odds makers say, well, for the series, we still have to slightly favor Toronto because there's no Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I don't care, without Kevin, and now it's clearly without. Golden State's going to win this series. I told you earlier 2 days ago, I said, with or without Klay Thompson tonight, they're going to win. So what are we going to see from Klay Thompson? Is he going to be the primary defender on number 2 tonight? He just can't be. The hamstring is too dicey. It's obviously.
Who you going to put him on? You can't put him on Siakam. He's too small for Siakam.
Right? Who?
Klay.
Well, you just put him on anybody. You almost have to hide him like you try to hide Steph.
Yeah, I think you have Iguodala on Kawhi
and maybe
then
Draymond
on Siakam.
But occasionally
Draymond
will take some number 2. So the point is, the reason Klay Thompson is so valuable is he turns Steph lethal again. You can't double Steph anymore.
Correct.
You can't try to force the ball out of Steph's hands. You can't force him to take ridiculously high degree of difficulty shots. You get him in a flow where it's the 2 of them. They are the Splash Brothers, plural. And they're both lethal in combo, but solo, they're not lethal because they need each other. And they need Klay to play some defense tonight. They're just going to have to gut it out. This is going to be hearts of champions kind of game because it's desperate. This is going to be 3-ring pride. And all those other guys are going to come to play. DeMarcus Cousins just didn't show up the other night. He didn't understand because he's never been at this level what's about to happen, how adjustments get made, even in a psyche. Marc Gasol has played in a bunch of these games. I know he hadn't played in finals, but he's played against my Spurs in some big, bad battles. And he gets the fact that in a pivotal game 3 for his team, after they blew game 2 down the stretch at home, You come to play, and he came with a whole new energy the other night where DeMarcus is just shell-shocked. Like, he's beating me to every ball, every rebound.
But in the games 1 and 2, he was looking to pass the ball out of the high post.
Was.
But this time, he put it on the floor and going to the hoop.
Right.
He's like, I'm not selling for no jumpers. I'm not looking for anybody. Okay.
And how'd that work out?
Layup.
That was a great point because it looked like Boogie was treating it like a regular season game in February.
No.
Like, like he didn't get it.
Didn't get it.
And like you said, he's never been on this stage.
Nope.
I do expect him to come back and bounce back.
Too.
He's got some pride.
He's got pride.
I'm sure he feels like he's better than Marc Gasol.
Yeah.
So you think
he knows he's better than Marc. And I have respect for Marc because Marc can do it with his head as well as his
if he's healthy, he's way better than Marc Gasol. But at this stage, where he's come back from, Achilles and quad, is he better than Marc Gasol at this juncture right now?
Yes, he can be. Yeah. He will be tonight. And Draymond Green's going to play like a Hall of Famer because I believe he is on a Hall of Fame arc.
Yeah, he going.
And you made the point yesterday, even though the numbers looked okay on the stat sheet, it wasn't a Draymond game.
Not at all.
He didn't take the game over in all of his little big ways that he can take it over. And I do think he'll have a triple-double.
You got me leaning towards the Raptors. You seem pretty confident.
I'm very confident. That's making you lean the other way?
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't, and it should make you say,
no
mas.
Because you've been wrong.
When am I've been right on every game this series?
I do differ with you on if Klay doesn't, like if he can't go or he tweaks it early and has to sit and just doesn't play well, I think it's going to be tough without
Okay,
Klay.
now if he re-injures, like just pulls it or he's gone for the rest of the series, it's going to be hard to win. But they're still going to win tonight. That's a proud basketball team.
They're not winning without Steph and KD.
They will tonight.
You mean the series?
Yeah.
Without
the
Klay,
series would be difficult.
Without Klay and KD, they're not winning the series.
It would be difficult. And
impossible.
I'm going to bring it up one more time because it's just such a fascinating concept that Jeff Van Gundy brought up the other night. He said this team I'm watching in Game 3, the Golden State team, would not have made the playoffs this year. And I can't process it because what are we saying about Steph? He's a 2-time MVP, and you're saying you would have him and you'd have Draymond, who's a 3-time All-Star and a former Defensive Player of the Year, who's still in his prime.
Right.
And you'd have DeMarcus Cousins. He looks relatively healthy. So you'd have those three.
So is that Boogie as he was in Game 3 or now, or Boogie, the All-Star,
I'll
healthy
take
Boogie?
Boogie in Game 2. No. Boogie was good in Game 2.
With Iggy and Livingston, they're not making no playoffs.
Yes, they are.
The question, here's the challenge. First of all, LeBron played, 66 games? Something like. They didn't make the playoffs in the West, so it would be tough. But who's the second scorer? Like, if you look at that team they had the other night, I lean toward you. I think Jeff overstated it. But I do wonder who
what
is
are we
their
saying
second scorer?
about the 2-time MVP? I told this man yesterday, either you're saying he's overrated or just undersized where he can't do that.
I put him in the playoffs. I would put him in the playoffs.
Skip, two things can be true. He's not overrated. He's not overrated, but he is undersized.
Okay.
He's 6'2".
So
we don't normally see 6'2" guys.
Okay, I got it. But we've seen this 6'2" guy do extraordinary things we've never seen before.
With Klay and Draymond. With no Klay, and we seen him do it even a more extraordinary thing with that 7-foot monster that's lurking.
And just to haunt you again, Skip, I got to ask you guys to leave it here. We're out of time. Chris, thank you so much for being with us again. Enjoy
You're lucky
because
I had a strong point.
Will Skip start using Kawhi's catchphrase? We're discussing that just a week
Right,
back.
here we go.
No mercy.
Kawhi Leonard has been dominating in the playoffs, but in his typical fashion, he's not saying much. So The Athletic spoke to a bunch of Kawhi's college teammates from his days at San Diego State. Turns out, Kawhi had a motto in college. The board man gets paid. Yesterday, he revealed what that means.
I used to say that back when I was in high school and college. Just wanting to get to this league. It's about working hard, basically, outworking the opponent. Rebounds help you win games, big rebounds, offensive rebounds, limiting the team to one shot, and that used to be our motto. Some of us that were in college that was trying to get to this point.
How do you like that, Shannon? What does this tell you about Kawhi?
I love it. It tells me everything I need to know about board man. They get paid. I once saw Pat Summick doing a halftime speech says, no rebounds, no wins. Kawhi Leonard.
I think Pat Riley said no rebounds, no ring.
Well, I heard her say it.
Okay.
But I didn't say
I don't know.
I didn't say she coined the phrase.
All right.
We're going to talk about this later. Maybe she should have copyrighted like somebody else trying to steal somebody else's moniker. But that's neither here nor there. I'm talking about Kawhi.
Okay.
Skip, it just goes to show you his nature. Skip, that's how Dennis Rodman made it in the NBA. Dennis Rodman's offensive game would have kept him out of the NBA. But because he was a monster on the glass, and that's what Kawhi's like, his offensive game had to catch up. Could play defense. In the article, it said the coach is like, help defense. He's like, why do I need to help? Why can't they just stay in front of their man like I do? That's why great players, it's hard for them to make great coaches, you see? He think it's easy. He's like, because it's a breeze for him. But Skip, he just goes to show you, he's blue collar. He's not Hollywood. He said, I'm willing to do the dirty work. Because I never thought, because he never saw himself as a guy that was going to have an offense run through him for him. So he says, for me to make it, I got to play D and I got to crash the boards. So board man get paid. If I can rebound the ball in defense, okay. They pay those type of guys in the NBA. Look at Dennis Rodman. Look at Ben Wallace, Dikembe Mutombo, Dwight Howard. I could be that. Lo and behold, carved out him a nice little niche. And now he one of the 3 best players in the world. Board man.
Bored man. I'm bored of this story.
There you go. There you go again.
You know, I carefully went back and read this. It's The Athletic, right? Is that what
Yes,
it is?
Athletic.
Okay, so I read the story. It was well done. It's like an oral history of this guy who doesn't yet deserve an oral history.
Yes, he
but
does.
Whatever. And the myth-making in this story was mind-boggling to me and ultimately stomach-turning to me because it's straight mythology. Because the first anecdote I read is one year, number 2 had an 8 a.m. class, and they felt like they had to get him up for it. So if he's that hardcore dedicated, he would just get up for it. Did you ever have an 8 a.m. class? I had a whole bunch
all
of
my
them.
classes were 8 a.m.
Okay, well, did you get up?
Yeah.
Yes, you got up by yourself.
But Skip,
Somebody have to knock on your door? No.
Skip, I was raised on a farm.
Okay, well, there it is. So the myth making here is that one day they went looking for him to get him up for his 8 o'clock class. They couldn't find him. They go to the gym. He is, according to this story, he was rebounding by himself. That's a first for me. I've been covering this game for God knows how many years, back into the middle 70s when I covered the Lakers here for the LA Times. I have never, ever heard of even Dennis Rodman rebounding by himself. So I'm trying to picture what you do. You throw the ball up off the glass, and then you jump for it and grab it against air. Because nobody else is fighting for it. You're fighting yourself for the basketball.
I used to do that too.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Because I've been like great rebounds when I was a kid. Wes Unseld.
No.
He was chairman of the boards. Moses
he?
Malone.
Yeah.
So the rebound, Skip,
about 6'6".
Skip, you throw it against the backboard, you get it.
Oh.
Let him elbow.
Okay, you might do that once or twice, but you don't go by yourself to the gym to practice rebounding by yourself. If you want to throw the ball up on the glass against 2 or 3 other opponents.
I used to practice diving on the floor
Did
too.
you? Okay.
You get loose balls.
Yeah, you're right.
I want to watch this.
Okay, this is
Can
straight,
you reenact this?
straight mythology. And then I'm hearing about this, the team manager says, I've never seen anyone ever work harder in my whole life. Okay, way to go. So you're talking blue collar, hard work.
Hard worker.
But yet, this hard worker won't play hurt. So the not playing hurt disqualifies the hard worker.
No.
They don't go together.
Skip, I know a lot.
Okay, so you're blue collar, but you're soft. What is it?
Well, hold on.
That's a contradiction in terms.
I know a lot of people that work hard and love their job, but they ain't working sick.
Oh.
So, you ain't gonna work sick, huh? No.
They go hand in hand.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
To me, they do.
No.
I got to knock on wood before I say this, but do I miss shows? No.
There you can see.
I'm just saying.
What you trying to say?
I'm trying to say you work hard and you show up and you play hurt. When you're sick, if you don't feel like it, you just play.
Skip.
Play. Do you play hurt? Yes, you do.
I did.
Sometimes you're sick and you play.
Skip.
Okay.
If you got
I'm talking about doing the show, you play hurt.
Yes.
Yes.
There have been times, yes.
Thank you.
But if you have it tendonitis in your knee, if you got something going on with your foot,
I'm not
you can
talking
do
about that. I got that. But you just keep going. You just show up. So he's disqualified from all this. Now we get to the Michael Jordan highlights.
What do you say?
Everybody says that when he was in college, that he was a Jordan nut. That when games would end, he would go right in and go on YouTube to watch Jordan highlights that he wouldn't text as the coach. He would go to Jordan on YouTube. He'd watch it all day, every day, Michael Jordan. And everybody says that he would always say to his teammates, I'm Mike. You like LeBron? You like Kobe? Yeah, they're cool. But I'm Mike. I want to be the best, the greatest, says this guy when he was at San Diego State. And I want to remind this guy right now that Michael Jeffrey Jordan 9 times played all 82 games, and 2 other times he played 80-plus games. So that's 11 times he played 80-plus of the 82-game schedule. That's what you call dedication. That's what you call playing through pain.
Yeah, he's very fortunate, too.
Oh, he's very what?
Very fortunate not to have an injury that would sit him down. I mean, because the injury that he had, he broke his foot. That was the injury that kept him out halfway, 50 games his second year.
Because I know the great Tim Grover, who trained Michael Jordan through his Chicago days. I know how many little big injuries he had to play through, including lots of knee tendonitis. He just sucked it up and played. Whatever had to get done to get him on the floor, he played. And we got the classic flu game. You know, the worse he was, the better he was.
How sick
Okay,
was
well,
he?
who knows how sick he was, but I think he was very sick.
Oh, you think he was very sick?
That's what Tim Grover told me.
Well, but see, why you do that? See, like Michael Jordan, oh, he was sick. Oh, my goodness, he was on his deathbed. And Kawhi tell you that he was hurt. He wasn't hurt. Nothing was wrong with it.
Well, what do your eyes tell you?
My eyes tell me that he's limping. I saw him flush on Jordan Bell, and then he had to check his steps to get his feet right. That's not normal for an NBA player.
He exploded past him. Nobody does that to Jordan Bell. Nobody. What do your eyes tell you?
Any NBA
He's
player,
just fine.
if you're watching this show, can you hit me up on Twitter or IG
Yeah.
to let me know is that normal what Kawhi did on that flush on Jordan Bell?
Tony Parker, would you hit us up
No,
right now?
Tony Parker, sit
Manu
down.
Ginobili, hit us up right now. Please, Tim Duncan, I would like to hear from you right now. Please, put this in perspective.
First of all, Tony Parker old. He ain't even got he got a flip phone.
He ruptured his quadriceps muscle, and he said my injury was 100 times
kept his
worse.
mouth shut.
100 times
Don't
worse
speak
than a thigh bruise.
Teammates
A thigh
and brothers, hold on. Do you speak on Rick's behalf? Do you say negative things about Rick? Of course you don't. That's your brother. Tony Parker and Kawhi Leonard, that's what they say on team. That's my brother. I got my brother's back until it's not in the best interest of me.
Your brother won't be with you because he's jaking it. He's got a phantom injury.
No, I ride with Sterling Sharpe. We ride. Keith Burns and Bucket, they know.
I know.
If they sick, we sick.
So
You sick,
I
I'm sick.
conclude with this point that I believe this is the coach talking. He says
There you go.
he describes number 2 as low maintenance, high production.
That's what I'm talking about.
He is the highest.
that's what I'm talking
maintenance.
about.
He is the highest I've ever witnessed. It's every night. I don't have time to list the litany of injuries he, quote unquote, suffered through his San Antonio days. It was it's the hand, it's the wrist, it's the knee, it's the shoulder, it's the Achilles, it's the foot. It's every night it was something. And I'd say, can he just play like 3 games in a row?
And did he play? And when he played, though, how was he?
He could be pretty good.
Oh, pretty good.
I mean, he won Finals MVP averaging 17 points a game. You impressed with
Okay,
that?
what about the All-NBA teams?
And by the way, he was Finals MVP. And what did you remind me of earlier? You thought the Spurs were going to quit making threes, and they made every three. Was that him? No, that wasn't him.
He made some.
That was Patty Mills and Marco Bellinelli, and that was a whole bunch of shooters.
That was everybody. Everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if social media is going to come to y'all's rescue today, but Kendrick Perkins, an NBA champ, is going to be coming up.
Where are you?
So he can give you some
Get in here.
perspective and also tell us, should Kawhi's team now be favored to win it all? We've got much more, but we got to take a break. We're back in just a moment.
No mercy.
The Warriors trying to even the finals tonight at home. Klay Thompson is expected to play, but Kevon Durant going to miss his 9th straight game. Golden State is favored tonight, but Toronto is now favored to win the whole series. It's the first time the Warriors have not been favored to win the title since all the way back in 2016. We are joined by NBA champion Kendrick Perk. Perk, we're so glad you got up and came in with us.
Appreciate y'all having me back.
What do you think? Should Toronto be favored in this one?
Absolutely. I picked Toronto before the series started. With KD being injured, I picked Toronto to win this in 6 games. And all this nonsense they was talking, the Warriors are better without Kevon Durant. No, they're not. And it's proven right now. And I don't think Toronto get enough credit. first of all, you got to give a lot of credit to the front office for making these moves that he made in the offseason, acquiring, getting Kawhi Leonard, getting Marc Gasol, making a coaching change in Dwayne Casey, who was coach of the year, and Nick Nurse is not getting enough credit because last year, Siakam, who's about to be the most improved player of the year, didn't even really get above 10 minutes last year under Dwayne Casey. Now all of a sudden under Nick Nurse, he's probably going to get most improved player, and it's been probably arguably the second best player on this team this year. Second best, especially in the postseason.
Second, Skip.
And so
sometimes he's been first best.
Golden
The other
State-
night he was first best. Go
in
ahead.
my opinion, Golden State should be down.
I agree with that.
3 games. Should be 3-0 right now.
Yep.
They have yet to prove to me that they can hang with this team. In game 2, Toronto beat themselves. They went on the stretch where they had when they quote unquote ran the janky defense on Steph. They had 8 to 9 straight defensive stops in a row. They just couldn't score buckets.
Right.
So I think
Whose fault was that?
what you mean, Kawhi the reason they was even in the game.
Okay, but
He-
where
he
was
put-
he in the last 8 minutes of the game?
He was putting ownerships on the refs and getting to the free throw line.
Well,
Making plays. He couldn't
He
help
went
it.
0 for 3 from 3, and he missed his 2 jump
Skip,
shots.
He couldn't
He
help
went
it.
0 for 5 from
He
the field.
could not help that Danny Green them wasn't knocking down shots.
Well,
when
he
was
wasn't
making
knocking
plays.
down shots.
He took 3 shots, but he was
He
knocking
took
down
5
his free.
shots.
He was making his free throws.
And he charged into Draymond. He just elbowed him out of the way and got
And
the
one
call.
bucket.
And one that
And one bucket.
And he came back down on the floor and walked, and then he just throws it up off the glass. Well, he did.
He did.
And then what happened to the next time? DeMarcus just reaches in and
Fouled
just
him.
clean
But-
strips.
Fouled
The
him.
NBA said in the last 2-minute report, clean strip.
You know, hey.
Okay.
You know we play pickup ball.
Ball.
That's a foul.
It's a foul.
yeah.
But I just see to me, the unsung heroes that's been in this series are the bigs, and it's been on both sides. So when Gasol and Serge Ibaka plays well, Toronto wins in good fashion. Game 1, both had great games,
That's
and they
true.
win. Okay, game 2, Bogut and Cousins outplay them. Golden State win. All right, game 3, Gasol and
There's
Serge
truth to that, yeah.
back again. And that's
Okay.
why Golden State, they're missing Looney, who's arguably been their best big man consistently this year.
Agreed.
And this is why I'm giving the edge to Toronto. They're a good team.
Okay, who wins tonight?
I got Toronto winning
Wow.
tonight.
Do
I
you?
had them winning in 6, man, but
Now you think 5.
I'm thinking 5.
Are you really?
Yes, I am.
Huh. Well, I don't know if you drink Diet Mountain Dew, but I do, and I would like to put some on that with you if you would like.
Get it, Perk.
I
Bet that
do.
dude.
I drink Diet Coke.
Diet Coke?
Yeah, Diet
Okay,
Coke.
well, I'll owe you Diet Coke, but you're going to owe me Diet Dew. I'll take Golden State tonight for 1 case of Diet Mountain Dew.
And tell me, I want to know why those.
Huh? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Since you will follow, since y'all bet, go ahead.
You ever heard of Hearts of Champion? Yes. Have you ever heard of 3-Ring Pride? That's what you're going to see on display tonight.
Ever heard of bodies of nursing home?
In Nick nursing homes?
Yeah,
right?
You got Boogie, you got Clay, you got Iggy, and KD's out.
You just opened your mouth. Do you want some of this after you backed off it twice, 3 times?
No.
Okay, okay. Steph Curry needs Klay Thompson.
Absolutely.
He needs him to play some defense also. I don't think Klay will be able to defend the way he normally defends tonight because he's going to have to protect his hamstring until it gets back to like 80%. And I don't think it's 80%. I think it's like 51% right now. So he won't be able to defend, but he will be able to catch and shoot. And all of a sudden, he turns Steph lethal because they can't janky him anymore. They can't junk defense. They can't double him. They can't try to get the ball out of his hands. They got 2 lethal shooters, and they will both shoot at home, and they will play desperate tonight. You're going to see DeMarcus Cousins come with urgency and energy he did not display the other night. He got blindsided by Gasol because Gasol showed up the other night. And you know how some games, as a big man, you have to pump yourself into like a frenzy in the locker room before you come out. And DeMarcus is going to come out firing tonight.
Well, Skip, my concern with Cousins is, and I love Cousins, is that he's still been out. And he logged in 28 minutes in game 2 with a long flight back home, played again on it, and he's not 100% healthy. I don't care. For a big man that's 275, 280, it takes about 5 to 10 games to really get your rhythm back.
And guess what, Skip? And think about, they had a 4-day layoff. You played, they played Sunday, and then they played Wednesday. So that's 3 days.
Okay.
And he didn't look good between games 2 and 3. And now you expect him to look better with 1 day?
How did he look in game 2?
He looked
great.
yes.
No, he looked really good. He was moving.
Yes.
He was in RPM where he got the rhythm of the game because he was wheeling and dealing.
How did he look in game 1? Now, we've seen Boogie Cousins 3 games. Now, what has been we've seen more of game 1 and 3 than we saw game 2.
Okay, so which Boogie shows up tonight?
Yeah.
Game 2 tonight.
Oh, that's what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
He's not playing against a pushover, by the way.
Yeah.
I know that.
Oh, Big Marcus Gasol.
Hey,
Mountain of a man.
he's a mountain of man with some. He's
Skill.
got a mind.
And by the way, they didn't play the janky defense on Steph last game either.
No,
They played.
didn't.
Well, they tried, but
didn't.
they got called with 2 or 3 illegal defenses,
Yeah, I
which
don't-
got them out of it.
But I don't think they were trying to box and one. I
No.
think it didn't look box and
No,
one.
they let him get his
Okay.
meaningless 47 points.
It
that
was
didn't
meaningless.
impact
I thought
the
it was
game.
impactless.
It didn't
because they never
impact-
even cut it,
it
to
did-
within more than 7.
It didn't impact the game at all.
All right. So if you're right,
It's not like a LeBron 57 or 47. That's
I'm just saying,
impactful. That's impactful.
yeah.
When LeBron game
that's a
one
very
came-
insightful analysis right there, Perk.
No, because when he came in last year in game 1, when he came in and dropped that 50 ball, it was very impactful.
Very.
The game was
And he had-
close.
Wait a second. He had 49 at the end of regulation, and he should have had
Skip,
51. Am I right?
But he had to get
Because-
there.
Okay, he got to 49 points, and have you ever seen him shoot it better from distance than he shot it in game 1
I've
at
seen him shoot it
Oracle?
better.
I have.
You
not.
saw it against
I
Charlotte
have
when he
not.
dropped 61 on
I know,
them.
but this was a playoff game. This was game 1 of the finals, and he is heated up from distance.
What about against Boston?
Okay,
Perk,
don't change
Yeah.
the subject because you know what's coming. He got the switch at the top of the circle. He got little Steph Curry, who can't defend anybody, couldn't defend you.
Yeah, he could.
The top of the circle. LeBron's got him, and all he has to do is take one dribble to the left and shoot a 17-foot jump shot to win the game. You're down 1, shoot it. If you're the best player on the planet, as you suggested he was at that point, shoot that shot for all the marbles because you put them down 1-0 at home, you got a shot.
I'm going to tell you something. The energy that I was at game 3, and the energy in Oracle Arena it wasn't even the same. You could tell. You could tell. It was like deflated.
Okay, but Steph never went on a flurry run where he just shoots you out of the
Yeah,
gym.
but he had 17 in the first quarter.
Okay,
You thought
but I'm talking about making 4 straight threes in a minute and a half. That's how that crowd just gets detonated.
But here's the problem that he was making those threes, but Van Fleet and Danny Green was coming right behind him and making other threes.
They were turning the sound back down every time.
Yeah, exactly.
So you and I have a bet, right?
If you want it,
Yeah,
you
I
taking
do.
it?
I do.
I got Golden State tonight.
I got Toronto.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he got Toronto tonight.
Thank you.
And I'm going to
Thank
collect
you.
on his diet.
Okay, how much do you want?
I want nothing.
Put your due where your mouth
got
is.
this. I got
Have the courage of your convictions.
I bet you Monday, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are you going to bet me Monday? Which way? You
I'm going with the
blow
Raptors.
with the wind?
The Raptors.
Okay. You're going with the Raptors in what? In game 5?
So Shane, you're not rolling. You don't have nobody tonight.
I got the Warriors because I believe Clay is going to play and he's going to play well. I think he'll play and he'll play well enough to help Steph because Steph was in the kitchen, but nobody else could cook on Wednesday night. So Wednesday night.
Yeah.
But now he has someone. He got another chef, a sous chef.
I think
Really?
Draymond will have a better game.
I
than Klay
agree.
tonight.
He will have a better game.
Well, Clay got to have some kind of game.
And if number 2 is as great as you guys say is,
You still not calling him Kawhi
Heck
yet?
no.
Why not?
Dead to me.
Do you know?
Quit on me.
Oh, I can't wait till he win this championship because you know he's.
Okay.
Ooh, I could. Ooh.
We got a
He
long
might
way to
talk.
go.
You know what? We need to be trying to get Kawhi on the show.
Okay, get him on.
No.
I'm ready.
He gonna say because he goes like He might want to go back to the Spurs. Could y'all let him rest like 25 games?
Yeah.
He'll come back.
You're talking about bore man? He bores me.
Bored. No boards.
Nick Wright
no
from
win.
First Things First says you have a bet with him too. He wanted me to remind you.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, but Nick Wright, he should be good that I canceled a bet in the Toronto and Bucks series and I backed out of it because I really had Toronto in 6 in that series and then they went down 0-2 and I said, you know what, I'm going to back off, but I should have stuck to my guns.
Kept your foot on his
Okay.
throat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're sticking to these guns tonight.
I
right?
am.
Okay,
I
Here
am.
we go.
Kawhi J.
Okay.
It's
all
going to
right.
be a good one.
Why?
Thanks so much
Good.
for being with us. We appreciate you getting up and taking your time.
Thank you.
And be sure to keep it right here. Has Kevin Durant really been a great leader for the Warriors?
That's a good question.
It is a good question, and we're going to answer it coming up next.
No mercy.
We are just 6 days away from the U.S. Open. Tiger Woods makes his return to Pebble Beach, and Brooks Koepka looks to make history. It all starts Thursday on Fox, FS1, and the Fox Sports app.
You going to watch them? You going? You going to watch?
I'm thinking about it.
You ain't going to do that. No, you not.
Kevin Durant yet to play in the
this is
finals,
over.
and he's only been seen for brief moments in the tunnel during games. But, despite that, KD is apparently making a big impact on the team. Quinn Cook says, quote, he's been a great leader and motivated everybody over these past 3 games. He's been the best leader you could ask for. A man who knows about leadership in locker rooms, Kendrick Perkins, back with us. Perk, how do you think Kevin Durant has handled this situation? Not been an easy one.
Yeah, I got to pat myself on the back. I taught him well.
Ooh.
I taught him well. I taught KD you got to lose yourself in the team at all times. No matter, a great teammate is a guy who's going to be all in when things are not going good for you, but the team is still having success.
Right.
And I think KD is doing a great job. I hear a lot about, he's not on the bench and why he's not on the bench.
You're about to hear it from me.
But,
Go ahead.
But why be on the bench? It's not like this is a young, unexperienced team. This is a team that's been to 5 straight finals.
Right.
When you could be in the back getting treatment around the clock. And what you have to understand is that when KD arrives to the game, he has to work out first, exercise, bike, weightlifting. There's only 3 or 4 training room tables in the thing. So you have to put yourself last and let guys who's playing get tape, get stretched. So you stay in the back, and what you do is you get treatment around the clock. You may get 20 minutes of stem unit, 20 minutes of ice, 20 minutes of soft tissue work. I'd rather have Kevin Durant getting treatment around the clock than sitting on the bench clapping when really it's not needed. It's not needed. This is a experienced championship team that have leaders on the court. They have Draymond Green. They have Stephen Curry. They have Iggy. They have Sean Livingston. It's not like this is a new Toronto team. Say KD and Kawhi switch spots in Toronto. KD went down in Toronto playing against them. Okay, it's a different situation.
Right.
But if I could have him in the back getting treatment around the clock, I'd rather have that than him sitting on the bench clapping for no reason, just to see his face or what kind of suit he's wearing.
I agree with you, Perk. I don't have a problem with him watching from the locker room. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Skip, Kyle Lowry, when he dove into the stand, that's diving into Kevin Durant. Whatever injury he has is going to be worse when Kyle Lowry gets up off it.
So you're saying he's in danger sitting on the bench?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I've never seen
Yes.
anybody get hurt sitting on the bench. I've never seen it before.
Well, if you have that, Skip, this is what we know. The injury is more severe than they're leading us to
I
believe.
agree with
Absolutely.
that. I
So-
don't even know if round-the-clock treatment
Right.
can do any good.
Right.
Can.
Huh?
It can.
Well, I don't know what
No,
it's an Achilles something.
it can help him for free agency. It can help him get ready for his new team. I don't know. I don't think it's going to help him get ready for the remaining of this series. But I just think for Skip, this is who he is. I don't have a problem with Kevin doing it this way, because him not traveling to Portland, I think that was my first indication, Skip, early on, of the seriousness of this injury.
I buy that.
I think that was the first time that I was like, hold on,
Yep.
this is not just a normal calf injury. There's something more severe going on here, and they don't want us to know, or they don't obviously,
want Toronto.
They don't want Toronto to know, but they don't really want the general public to know.
Nope.
So this is more serious than that. And Skip, KD is saying, I'm not that kind of leader. I just want a guy, throw the ball up in the air and let me go hoop. I'm going to lead by dropping these 30 on you, grabbing these 6-7 rebounds, and winning the game. That's the type of leader that I am. So I have no problem with KD doing it like this.
Uh-oh.
I got a big problem with it because this has been a troubled basketball team all year long, and it started with that incident, that flashpoint back in November between KD and Draymond, in which Draymond spoke his heart. That's what happened. We won without you. We don't need you. because Draymond and everybody else on that team thought by that point that Kevin was gone. He has not one foot out the door. He's basically got two big sneakers out the door, and he's playing out the string. And it's not that he was given less than his best. He's trying to win, but it's the unity has been fractured when you think he's gone. And he said, I don't want to talk about it. And then he just kept on talking about it at every opportunity, November, December, January. Am I right?
Yes, you're right, Skip. But what KD is doing, you know how the guy that he's already got another job lined up and he's using up all his PTO days? That's what KD doing. KD just using up his PTO days. Skip, that's all he doing. Leave that man alone.
So now we get to this point, and he gets seriously injured. And I'm going to knock on this wood over here. God willing, it doesn't threaten his free agent status.
Correct.
Because it's going to come out how hurt he is after these finals.
Oh, you got to get a physical.
Because you're going to have to. So this was a time where he could try to restore some of the unity. And I know this is all just optics, and you're going to say baloney. But to show that I'm literally with you guys, I'm going to wear my uniform, or maybe I'm just going to wear whatever LeBron would wear, whatever the outfit of the night
you
was.
know LeBron be sharp.
He'd be sharp, man. He'd be
Oh.
Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah.
And again, Kevin could just walk down that tunnel and just sit at the end of the bench with the scrubs. I get that. But then timeouts, you go stand in the huddle and you whisper in Steph's ear like we saw him whisper in his ear as he's going out down the tunnel. It's just a show of force. We're all together because he's the biggest fish, man. He's the 7-foot monster, and you want to be able to look over there and know he is clapping for you. He's with you. He's showing you literally, I'm out here with you, even though I can't help you on the court. I can help you during timeouts. That's a big deal to me.
Well, Skip, but this is my thing, and it's certain teams that you have to be careful with that, because when certain guys are hurt, like, and you're playing and you're in the heat of the battle, certain guys don't want to hear from injured players. Like, they don't want to hear.
I got it, but that's not just any injured player.
Yeah, but but this is a team that's been to 5 straight finals.
I
so
got
that's
it.
what I'm saying, Skip. Like, what does it matter if he's sitting on the bench or not? That doesn't matter to me. I'd rather have Kevin Durant. Obviously, to me, if Bob Myers or the ownership told Kevin Durant, hey, we want you out there on the bench, or even if Steve Kerr said it.
Yeah, you got that right.
So they must be okay with it.
Well, Bob Myers has to be okay because Kevin is watching the game in his little office that's right next door to the locker room door. It just says office on it, and it's Bob Myers' office, and it's pretty small, but it's got a couple of recliners, and he and Bob Myers, I think, have been watching the games on television.
Okay, but
I don't know.
But they must be all good with it, doctors and all. Steve Kerr, they all, because, usually when I was in Oklahoma City and I was hurt, Sam Preston used to say, you got your suit because you're sitting on the bench. We need your leadership skills. Well, that was a young team.
Okay.
But this is a team that went to 5 straight finals.
But he's Kevin Durant, and he's back-to-back finals MVP.
Okay, but
they all know
but he's not that vocal. KD is not that
vocal
leader.
Draymond
is that. Draymond would be there. LeBron is a vocal leader.
He is.
But KD
is
that's why you go, Skip. You don't go to a team like that if you're trying to lead. If you trying to lead, you stay where you are, or you go to you go to the Wizards. You go to a team that needs that veteran leadership. Okay, but that's not what he is.
The point is, they think Kevin's gone anyway. So for Kevin, it feels like he's saying, I'm above you guys. I'm better than this.
No.
I don't need to go down there and sit. That'd be beneath my dignity to go sit in a suit on the end of the bench. That's how it's coming across to me.
No. I don't look at it like that. I don't think he thinks he's better than those guys are. I just think he's not that type of leader. He can do more in the locker room when he get in there. He's probably giving them, hey, guys, this is what I'm seeing out there when the locker room or pregame or halftime. So I don't want to micromanage and say how he should do it because everybody's different.
Right.
Okay. The policy when I played, there's certain guys, Skip, they didn't travel when they were injured.
Right.
For some reason, I got injured and nobody else traveled when they was injured. But I got injured and
because you was a vocal leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a difference.
You were the all-time vocal leader.
But I'm saying, Shan, you was just heart and soul.
Right. So
you could imagine guys listen when you speak, guys listen to you.
Right.
And Draymond is that heart and soul.
Yes.
And I'd rather have a Kevin Durant in the back getting treatment. And
I don't think he's getting treatment during the game.
Why not?
I just don't.
He is. I went back there game 1 and sat with him.
You did?
Yes.
And?
He's getting treatment.
He's getting treatment during the game?
Yes.
What's wrong with him? Can you give us the inside
I know
info?
he's walking without crutches, so it
Okay.
can't be his
All right.
Achilles.
Are you sure?
I'm
because
positive.
Mr. Sharpe has been speculating it looks Achilles-esque. Am I right?
No.
Am I right?
No.
You're very right.
Okay, thank you very much. And it's you're hearing from Kevin, not the Achilles?
Yes, it's not the Achilles.
It's a
his
calf?
calf strain.
Is it torn?
I don't know, but
Well,
I
what
know
did he
usually.
tell you?
But you know, usually when you have a calf strain, that's a 4 to 6 week.
It can
injury.
be.
Sometimes 8 weeks.
Okay.
I guess they got little calves. 'Cause
Okay.
I had one out of a week.
Oh, he's a stick pole. You know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the bottom line to everything you just said about, well, Steve Kerr didn't ask him to, Bob Myers. They're not asking him to do anything. They're catering to him just the way Toronto is to number
That's
two.
what you do.
And that's what you're
Catering.
supposed to do.
I know, because they are desperate to try to keep him there.
That
At
was-
least
You don't
one
want to
more
make
You
year.
do
him
that
mad.
every night.
No.
You don't
You
want
do that every night. You cater to Ernestine.
That's true.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say I was catered to you.
No, you cater to Ernestine. You like, later for you.
I do cater to you because I try to hand you softball topics
No,
that
don't.
you might be able to compete.
You be stalling me out. You be, hello. I'm down 30 minutes today in talk time.
Are you really keeping score on
Don't worry about that.
Well, you haven't had much to say today because you've been flip-flopping all
I
day.
ain't flip-flopping. No, you tried to finagle me out of another 3 or 4 cases that I ain't gonna do it.
Well,
So,
he
Shannon, you
finagled
got-
right into one.
So Shannon, you got Golden State tonight, right?
I gotta go to
He
State.
had
got-
Toronto until you arrived, and then he decided.
No.
Yeah, I got Golden State, and you got Toronto for one
Got a
case.
case
I
to
do.
do and Diet Coke.
Because I seen something very interesting. I was walking back, leaving the game, and I was walking, and I seen Toronto leaving the court, their team, walking through the tunnel. It was no celebration. It was no smiles. It looked like a team that was on a mission.
Really?
Business.
Yes.
Well, then that's it. They should call off the rest of the
No,
finals.
don't call it
No,
out.
don't call it
We're
out.
gonna
wanna-
play.
We gonna beat the
We're gonna
brakes
play
off
it tonight. Gentlemen, we gotta leave this one here.
Ah,
Perk, thanks again. For being
Yeah,
here.
thanks for
Always a
having
pleasure to see you. Up next on the show, why is everyone mad at Tom Brady this
yeah,
week?
why, Shannon?
Yeah,
We're
you know
gonna
why.
explain this one coming up next.
No mercy.
Tom Brady did some backpedaling yesterday at Patriots minicamp. Brady applied to trademark the nickname Tom Terrific a few weeks ago. However, baseball fans know that nickname belongs to Hall of Fame pitcher Tom Seaver. Brady getting some backlash for the move, but he explained his actions yesterday. Take a listen.
I did. It's unfortunate. I was actually trying to do something because I didn't like the nickname, and I wanted to make sure no one used it because some people wanted to use it. So I was trying to keep people from using it, and then it got spun around to something different than what it was. So good lesson learned, and try to do things a little different in the future.
Shannon, you buying Brady's reasoning?
Skip Bayless. Now, see, this is what irks me about him. Jen, I don't know if you know this, but Skip knows this. I was raised on a farm. Grandfather had hogs, had chicken, had goat, had turkeys. So I can smell a good pile of bull jive. I can smell it and I can see it. Now, according to I have a couple of friends, trademark lawyers, and this is what they told me, Skip. They said that when you file a trademark, which means the company has intent to use these trademarks, and any trademark that's registered must be used for commerce. Now, Tom Brady filed this on May 24th, and it said it was going to be used as collectible trading cards, posters, photos, and T-shirts. So in other words, you can't take this out of circulation without using it for commerce. Tom Brady went on TV and told a lie. Now, if he had just said, you know what, I didn't know anything about the 69, the Miracle Mets, and Tom Seaver. Nolan Ryan was also on that staff. I didn't know anything about that. I would have said, okay, no harm, no foul. But to go tell a bold-faced lie on national television, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Ivan the Terrible out of circulation. Because I don't like nobody being known as Ivan the Terrible.
Well, nobody's going to call you.
No,
Ivan the
but I
Terrible.
did just like that. So
Shannon the Terrible.
So,
when
in
it comes to
other
your
words,
picks, you know.
Tom Brady was going to use this to monetize this because you can't take it without using it for commerce. And it said on May 24th, he filed to use it on collectible trading cards, posters, photos, and T-shirts. No further questions, Your Honor.
So let me ask you this, Your Honor. Tom Brady is entering his 20th NFL season.
What I got to do with that?
Have you ever, one time in all those 20 years, heard him refer to himself as Tom Terrific? Has he ever posted on any form of social media, I'm Tom Terrific?
I've never heard of Peyton Manning.
Has there ever been hashtag Tom Terrific?
How many
One time. One time.
Have you ever heard of Peyton Manning refer to himself as the sheriff?
No.
Okay.
Because John Gruden did.
Okay.
Okay.
And people refer to him that. When they talk about him on other shows, the sheriff.
Okay.
He ain't going out there trying to patent it
Okay, but with
or copyright it.
Well, does that mean he hated it? Because
he hates it.
I believe Tom Brady hated this.
He hates it so much that he wants to put it on a trading card.
Okay, well,
he
he's
wants to
not
put it on
doing
a
that.
poster.
When you file for the copyright, you have to give a reason, and the reason was somebody else wanted to put it on trading cards. A company wanted to call it Tom Terrific, and he had to stop that company from doing it because he doesn't like it. And he talked in other quotes that we didn't show. He said, I'm paraphrasing, but he doesn't like any effusive praise of Tom Brady. It makes him uncomfortable. He thinks it's jinx him. It's going to jinx him.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
It's gonna
look,
do it.
I'm going to give you this. Was he tone deaf to file for this trademark given Tom Seaver's condition? For those who don't know, Tom Seaver is a 3-time Cy Young Award winner who pitched the Miracle Mets, the amazing Mets, to the 69 World Series championship.
And prior to King Griffey Jr. And Mariano Rivera has the highest Hall of Fame vote in baseball history.
Just recently at age 74, he had to drop out of sort of public view because he's got a form of dementia that might have been triggered from his Lyme's disease that he suffered in 1991. So he's in a bad way.
Correct.
And so it came across as you're trying to steal his nickname from again, the Jets hate Tom Brady because they're rivals in the division. So now it's a New York-Boston
It's a New York-Boston thing.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's tone deaf. So I'll give you that. That was just a bad idea. But I do believe that the impetus of this was to stop somebody else from using a nickname he has never used before. And 20 years into his career, it would be silly and stupid to say, hey, everybody, I'm announcing I'm Tom Terrific. He doesn't ever.
So what's he going to do with it?
He doesn't act that way.
So what's he going to do with it?
He's going to put it on the shelf.
You can't.
Yes, you can.
You know you can't. No, you can't.
I believe you can file for it under the auspices of trading cards.
Okay.
They're not going to come take it away from you.
So hold on. Now, this says that any trademark registered, the trademark must be used for commerce.
Okay.
Now, what is commerce?
Okay, well, it can be used to stop commerce, too.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
Skip, you can't use something and just hold it. You can't.
Well, I think millions of people hold on to trademarks without using them. Millions do.
What?
Just in case something, like you trademark something in case it gets hot and it never gets hot and you just hold on to it.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
You're holding on to it for what? Because you're going to use it for what?
Have you ever heard him call himself Tom Terrific?
Oh, no.
Have you?
You know what? I don't like people calling me Big Play Shay. I don't like it. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, but you love it.
I don't love it.
You call yourself Big Play Shay every day.
I don't like effusive praise. It just makes me uncomfortable.
Do you like wrong Play Shay? Because that's what I call you.
Skip,
you're always playing the wrong team.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yep.
On May 24th, it said Tom Brady filed this patent with the impetus on collectibles, trading cards, posters, photos, and T-shirts. So now, that's what it says.
So you're flat out calling Tom Brady a liar.
I'm saying he misspoke the truth. I'm saying he gave a misleading statement. In other words, that's a lie.
It's a lie, says Shannon Sharpe. You've often accused him of lying.
Skip,
right?
I'm just telling you what the copyright, what the trademark law is, and I'm just telling you what Tom Brady says, and it's not adding up, Skip.
Yes, it is.
It's not adding up. You keep telling me my whole life, people have told me 2 + 2 = 4. Now, all of a sudden, you want to tell me 2 + 2 is 5. Now, either they were wrong or you.
I'm going to start calling you Superb Shannon and Sizzling Skip.
Oh.
Make it my own nickname.
Well,
that makes me uncomfortable.
We got a lot more coming up today, including why is the Beehive going after the Warriors? We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. Nicole Curran, and the wife of Warriors owner Joe Lacob, says she received death threats after this video went viral of her leaning over Beyonce Wednesday night to talk to Jay-Z. Curran said she was just asking him a question about his drink order, but Beyonce's slightly annoyed look caused the Beehive to come after her. Shannon, what do you think's going on here?
Look, I think people, Skip, we don't like when people talk across us or reach across us. But Jay-Z and Beyonce has been guests of the Lakers at games 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, this wasn't the first.
And she was asking, what do you want to drink? And
do you want a lime in your...
Right. Why should I ask Beyonce what does Jay-Z want to drink when he's sitting right there? Now, if he had gone to the restroom, well, babe, whatever she calls her, what do you think he wants to drink? Or does he want blah, blah, blah? I get it.
Okay.
But even if Beyonce thought for a second, Joe Lacob is worth $3 billion. If he woke up tomorrow and had Jay-Z money, he don't know what in the world he would do. So it's not, Beyonce, it's not your job to check a lady that's might be trying to holler at Jay-Z. It's his job.
But you literally have to holler because it's so loud in there, right?
Yeah, well, come on, man.
Okay.
This Beehive, y'all get ridiculous
trying to be
with
a
this.
hostess, with the mostest?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Skip.
Okay, she's another social media victim.
Yeah.
It's another person who's suddenly thrust into the public eye, and she can't handle the backlash, the negativity that can go along with being the owner's wife.
But Skip, she didn't do anything.
She didn't do anything except she let people cyberbully her on whatever it was on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because she read them. You don't have to read it. Just ignore it.
No, but Skip,
She's
come
okay.
Everybody ain't like you.
Well,
Hopefully
They should
tonight
be.
will go better.
No, they
for
should not
them.
be. No.
Thanks, guys.
No mercy.
Thank you for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Keep an eye out for the weekend edition of the podcast tomorrow morning, featuring this week's best segments. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.